Hello. We're live.
Hello!
Oh my god.
Oh god, I had the stream open. Okay.
Welcome to the tea party, motherfuckers!
Yeah, look at us. We're in the Golden Land and shit.
Woo, yeah, woo, woo, yeah.
Yeah, woo, yeah, woo, yay. I don't have my normal audio settings, so let me know if it's like too loud, too quiet. Either way, we're here.
It's witch time today. Witches in the Golden Land talking about... Yeah.
Talking about things. Talking about Umineko. Guys.
I'm just a guy.
Yeah, you're a guy. You're a little meow meow.
The fuck you call me?
Messed up.
Guys, isn't it crazy? It's been like a year and some change since we started, I think.
Oh god, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's been like barely a year. Because you were saying that like around this month was when we started last time.
I think we started, it was a little bit earlier, so maybe we started April something. But, oh my god, hi Adam. Hell yeah. On Ox.
Yeah. It's been somewhere in the realm of like 10 to 12 months. So like roughly a year.
Oh wait, Adam, you're... Oh, well, wait, hold on. You're an ox in your car. Hold on, let me.
Oh god. Ah!
Yeah, made your car vibrate.
Oh yeah.
Dude, that made my ears
Okay.
vibrate.
So here's the steez, right? We said what we were gonna do at this point was like argue over a character tier list and use it as a way to talk about what characters we like and what we think of them as of now.
And who we don't like.
Yeah, right. We were originally
I'm gonna complain a little bit.
We were originally gonna like discuss theories that we brought with us about like the mystery and stuff. But I think we all got kind of busy, so I think it's more so like we're just gonna kind of like mishmash. Yeah, mishmash. Talk about ideas.
Theories. Yeah.
Yeah, right. We'll see if we have some kind of breakthrough.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like I did not have time. I wanted to do like a PowerPoint presentation, but I just did not have time.
Fire.
I just wanted to like take some notes, but unfortunately, shit got screwed up this week.
True. Although, yeah.
You can send the file to my DMs, Jamie. I know we have DMs open, and I'll just share it with the other two.
Sorry. Yeah. Before that though, I have a little gift for Jamie.
Oh?
Jamie asked me to, well, not really asked. I'm gonna re-say that. Jamie was the top donor in my like little anniversary stream. So for their for the reward for that was like a free full body commission, and Jamie asked me to make them a witch. So if you look on the stream,
yeah,
there you go.
Whoa, hell yeah. Oh shit.
Epic.
That's cool
There
as
you go. I'll send you the
fucking
actual
ruffles
one.
and shit, dog. Hell
But yeah, Jamie, thanks so much. Here's
keep that on the screen. Put that in the corner somewhere. We have a fourth witch today.
Yeah. There you go, Jamie.
If you have a transparent version, put Jamie on my head. Or you could just put Jamie on my head.
Me when
Can we,
Jamie's
like-
on my head.
Can we like flatten them and like put them on the table as like a printout?
Oh, yeah, we're gonna play Magic the Gathering on you.
Yeah.
It's in a
Guess
frame.
Matt.
It's in a frame.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Bring up the fucking tier list. Let's do this shit.
So we're gonna start with a tier list, of all of the question arc characters. There it is.
Hurrah.
We have a whole list of them, as well as the 7 stakes of purgatory. So
I can't believe that they're all separate. I can't believe it.
I
Jamie.
will rate them separately.
Okay,
I have
are we-
favorites.
Are we gonna pick characters
gift.
randomly, or are we gonna go in the order they're listed?
I wouldn't mind going in the order they're listed.
Oh, actually, I got a better idea. Can we, if it's okay with you guys, you want to like go like popcorn style, like one of us like nominates a character to discuss?
I my tism's going. Let's order listed.
Okay, fuck it.
I'm coughing.
That's fine. Oh, you're cooked.
Jamie, give me your GIF.
One of the ramen
thank you.
flakes got stuck in my
Oh
throat.
my god, live Nanjo reaction GIF on the. What the fuck is this song?
Oh my god, and Nanjo's here. Everything is perfect.
It played the danger music as soon as Shane
Oh.
coughed.
Well, okay, there's one reason we can go out of order, and that's just so we can confirm Nanjo S tier.
Yeah, true, right? Nanjo the goat?
Nanjo the goat S tier.
I can agree
Should
with
have
that.
his own
I'm so.
section.
What the fuck?
Not even a meme for me. Like, I could actually come up with a lot of reasons why Nanjo is one of my favorite characters. Because he's just, like, the only, like, nice, regular, likable guy who, like, you could argue never really did anything wrong the whole time.
Yeah, I think morally, just genuinely the best person there.
Oh god.
Like,
Yeah, I mean, like, he was literally just there to do his job. That's it.
like morally, less gray than even fucking Maria. Let's be honest.
Yeah, he, like I said, oh no! I'm
What?
dead.
What
I died. I
happened?
died.
Where'd you go?
I don't know what happened. My shit crashed. I'm dead. I'm coming back. It's okay. I don't know what happened, actually. Genuinely.
Genuinely?
Genuine.
Yeah. It's okay. Here I come. Here I come. I'm coming back.
You can't hear me slurping, can you?
Here I am.
I want
See,
to
it's
hear you
okay now.
slurping.
Everything is okay.
I'm not gonna slurp into the microphone.
Okay, anyway, yeah. Sorry. Nanjo.
Yeah, put goat Nanjo in S. He's the goat.
Where is he? There he is.
He's just actually a nice, likable guy. He's a private doctor, you know, which is like kind of a greedy profession. But at the end of the day, he does good for people. You know, that's what he does.
I think he's the only one out of the whole that actually treats his kids right.
Yeah,
like I said, he's the only he's the only normal person on that fucking island.
He's like one of the only people to stand up to Kinzo ever, by the way.
Yeah, he's the only person who's like, hey, maybe you shouldn't do this. Like, he doesn't like fight him on it at the end of the day, but he tries to like be like, dude, this is bad for you. You should stop being so crazy.
He also
and he's like, no!
continually suggests that he treats his family better.
Yeah.
Yeah, the moral beacon of Rokinjima, Dr. Nanjo.
He is. Also, he's
Things
just
would
hot.
for real be a lot worse without, yeah. Also, sex icon, yeah.
Yeah, sex icon.
Yeah.
He's got a smoking S for smoking
sex
bod.
icon.
Yeah.
Holy shit. S for sexy man.
Hell yeah. We love Nanjo here. Okay. I guess next is Amakusa? I think that's his name.
Bodyguard?
Yeah, Amakusa.
I feel like
I don't really have an opinion on him.
I feel like he's not bad, but he's not.
Yeah, I give
there
him like
for
a cool
bit.
B. He's entertaining, which is more than I can say for a lot of the characters from Anjay's part of the storyline.
I argue upper B, simply because I love the fact that they implied he was part of Blackwater.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
is straight up a fucking mercenary.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Dude, I think that's sick.
Yeah, I don't think there's too much to say about him, but he's just cool and he's entertaining. So
They've implied that he committed horrid war crimes.
yeah.
The things they implied he was part of, by the way, were part of several human rights abuses in South America. So Amakusa, if you think about it, not a great guy, but it makes his character.
No, but he's chill.
Yeah, true.
But he's chill.
Yeah.
So
Like I said, I think his biggest point is just being entertaining. He's fun to listen to, fun to watch.
hell yeah. Upper B for sure. He's chill.
Yeah.
Can we talk about? I really don't want to talk about Anjay right away. I'm not gonna lie. Can we talk about? I want to talk about Goda.
Dude, you're jumping around everywhere. Where is he? There he is.
He's right there, man.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, let's jump around a little bit and just do vibes. Yeah,
No,
let's
'cause
talk
a lot
about
of
Goda. He's interesting.
A lot of the characters that'll take a long time to talk about are all at the beginning, so the list will get boring later.
Yeah, I'll leave the
Yeah,
important people
Slide up the side bitches.
Okay, I thought Goto was kind of a bitch at first. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't like. I just found him kind of annoying because he was always hating on the kids and stuff. Because he's like, I'm a professional chef, and these guys outrank me, even though they're kids.
It's really cool that Gota's a bitch when things are comfortable, but locks in when it's under pressure, and he does things correctly. Like he's not a hindrance under pressure when there's an emergency situation. I really like because he's petty, but as soon as something goes wrong, he's like, okay, I'm gonna try my best here to not be in the way.
Honestly, he started out as like a D tier character for me, and then I really warmed up to him as things went along.
I'd argue for B is what I argue.
That's what
I
my
agree.
heart's going for.
I feel like bro is a strong B.
Plus, like, they just don't make food unless Gota is alive. Like, every single time where Gota dies, they're just like, well, let's eat out of cans now.
Yeah, that is also true. Every time Gota dies, they're just, like, chomping on some fucking peaches in a can,
Yeah, in, like, a survival setting, bro, some cooking skill is nice.
Yeah. For real. We'll go to, all right, go guards.
Average, just C. I don't know.
Yeah, I give him C.
Can we make a tier for go guard?
No, because listen. It's really simple when you think about it. He gets a C simply for hype moments and aura.
True. That one hype moment in episode 3.
Because like he's never the focus of the hype moments and aura, but whenever something cool is happening, he's always there facilitating it.
Also, they were really goofy and dumb in episode 4.
They were goofy and dumb.
He's a top tier plot device for sure.
Mom said we could have chicken nuggets for dinner if we get this done right now.
Let's go.
Let's fucking go.
The one goat that had like a sad sob story as he was fighting.
Yeah, about his little goat sister or whatever.
That guy's dead, bro.
He's dead.
Yeah, he's super dead.
Yeah, the flags. Fuck
him. But also at the same time, R.I.P.
True. Shit, what was this one's? Was it? Oh, it was. Oh.
I think she was 34. I think.
34.
No, it's 45 and 410.
Oh,
I don't
true.
remember at all. I hate them all.
This was 410. This is 410.
I hate them all. I would put them all in D, by the way.
Or is it? Jamie, who is this?
Yeah, they are simply another killing tool in order to give Battler more variety in the detective parts. Other than that, they're annoying.
I don't like this one. Fuck this one in particular.
Literally all three of them, dude. Like they are all like just boring and not funny.
I think I can put 00 in C because she's quirky.
She did have a little more of a personality.
Yeah, I think you two carried.
I'd argue
with your voice
end
acting.
Of C, top of D.
Yeah, I think that you two carried with your voice acting because you guys made them memorable. I just really like Shane's 00 voice and your 410 voice.
My 00 voice is just my GTA roleplay gay boy.
Yeah, exactly.
Trapped in the ad dimension. I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna fucking argue semantics about it, but I still think she sucks equally. But it doesn't matter to me if you want to put her there.
Let's keep her at the end of C.
Yeah,
I like that.
Bottom of C.
I agree with that one. Okay.
Babe, pick a character. Who's next?
This is Lucifer. I think. Yeah. Where are we gonna put the 7-6, guys?
Again, I don't even care. Like, for me, they could literally all go in C or D.
I think Belphegor was pretty funny a couple times, so I'd argue Belphegor for C or Belphegor for B and everyone else at C.
Belphegor for B. Where's Mammon?
I would put I would put Mammon in C and everybody else is D because Mammon's the only real character out of any of them.
There she is. I think that I feel like Leviathan was pretty interesting.
How? What did she do?
Remember, she was. I feel like she's just interesting as a side character because she's the one of greed, right? Oh, not greed. She's the one of envy.
And
so like
Belphegor's the one who wants to eat everything, right?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Like, you see what I'm saying, guys? Like, actually give me one thing each that any of them did that was important. They're all D, bro. They're all bad. Like Mammon's the only real character out of the 7.
You know what? Yeah, because you know what? Yeah, because now I can't even remember if it was Belphegor who made me laugh with some of the quips.
They just do nothing.
Is the only one.
Yeah, lost to Kyrie in an envy off. Actually, true. The only thing Leviathan did was get bodied. Nah, dude, like that's the problem. Like they show up, they yap, and they each try to make a joke that's not funny, and then they go away. Like I understand, like, you know, their furniture and everything, whatever, but they're just not fun or interesting to listen to. We literally couldn't remember their names and who was voicing who the whole time because they're all the same.
Hey, there is coming up good furniture though.
Oh yeah.
I mean, when there's good furniture.
If I may pull out one of my favorites. I don't know if we're going too big too quick here. Let me know if we should wait, but I want to pull up Sakutaro, my boy.
Oh, I'm down to talk about Sakutaro.
Okay. Where are you thinking of placing him?
I'm thinking I really like him, but as far as he does a lot of just placating Maria and Anjay, but I'm gonna say A.
I like A, I think, because she serves sort of like a different role for both of them. Because like oh yeah, my bad.
How could you do that?
I don't care. So like Sakutaro like serves like a different role for both of them, right? Because I feel like the reason he takes like physical form as like a kid, right, is because like, you know, Maria viewed him as like her only friend, so he would likely be someone like about her age, right, who kind of shares her mentality. But he stays the same way for Anjay, right? In the same way that like she still envisions Maria as like her 9-year-old self.
Mm-hmm.
So I think like, you know, he's like a stepping stone for Anjay to like connect with that version of Maria that she wants to remember, right? And I think he's just like, the storyline that he is a part of is also just pretty cool. Like what happens with Ava and everything. Like, even though that's not really about him, like you couldn't have that really, really good moment without him, you know?
Yeah.
Also, we got the reason that a certain someone should we need a hell tier for a specific person as well. Who is also involved in Sakutaro's
tiers? Oops.
Just click the gear and then add below.
True.
Add below. Hell for abusive bitches. And we'll just leave that there for now.
Hell yeah.
The void.
The void. Okay, but back to Sakutaro. I really like him, like, I don't know, narratively being Maria's, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, he is the part of her that wants to see everything in a good light.
He's her fucking tulpa, dude. If you know what a tulpa is.
What is a tulpa?
Oh god. Basically, you voluntarily give yourself schizophrenia. It's you have an imaginary friend that you put so much thought and effort into and focus on so much and embody them so much that you're basically giving yourself multiple personalities. You create a person in your head. It's a form of forcing yourself to become mentally ill.
Love?
Yeah, I mean, you know, he's there because Maria is like deep down always so like lonely, but she still truly wants to be happy, so she creates like a friend for herself who is always happy, always there to cheer her up and like support her, you know, because that's what she needs.
Yeah.
And the fucked up, cheer her up and support her so that she can cheer up and support her mother who...
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the only one that can protect her, basically, even though he's not real.
Protect her from what do you mean?
I mean, just like he always tries to like, you know, defend Maria, you know, in like moments where Rosa is going at her. Like he's like, don't make it so it's Maria's fault. It's not her fault. Like I'll take the blame. Like she doesn't.
But I
have
guess
any...
that's why I said support, because he can't
Yeah.
like help her like physically, but he can like emotionally
At
support
least
her.
defend
You know?
sort of in Maria's mind.
Yeah, right. Well, because she can't handle that those two things are true at once. You know that like, because she does believe that like her mom's not like an outright bad person, but she also believes that, you know, she's being punished for things that aren't her fault. But she can't reconcile those. So like she needs that feeling that she has to be like spoken to her by another person.
Yeah.
It also ties into, well, I'll talk about it when I get to the theories, but all of the furniture sort of represents something. Like the bunnies are also, we got the 7 sins. The bunnies are guns.
Yeah.
They're all calibers or military designations, and Sakutaro is a representation of how fucking lonely this poor child was.
Yeah. Sakutaro the goat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a lion, and that's usually like a royal protective thing, you know?
Yeah, right. Very like
Maria's-
prideful and strong.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be like a protector of royalty, like, and that's there have been multiple times where Maria has been, you know, referred to as royalty in ways.
Right.
That's interesting. That also makes it but he's still like a little baby lion. He can't really roar quite yet, but he still wants to protect her. Ow. Sakutaro the goat. He's just a little guy for real.
Definitely top of A so far.
Yeah. Dude, why
True,
is
as the
Mr.
only character in
Okanogi
A.
here?
What do you mean? He's a character.
Is he?
He's a character.
He's He's the CEO of Okanogi Foods, I think, but he was at the start of
Did he
Anjay's.
sell out Anjay?
No, he wanted to help her. He basically
Yeah,
gave her
I
the tip
mean-
that she's being followed by the.
You can put her in C. He shows up for like 30 minutes. That's it.
Yeah, put him in C. Not above goat. Not above goat.
No one's
Nah,
above
goat. Yeah, goat. No, he should. Loki. Yeah, I like that.
I like
below
Mammon
Mammon
more.
and the goat.
I like Mammon more than goat though.
I mean, that's fine if you want to put Mammon there. I don't care.
Yeah. But does
White-haired
Mammon
bitch.
have a little sister that.
White-haired bitch that's related to Kyrie. Put her.
Hell
put
for
her.
abusive bitch.
Dude, like, but that's the thing. Like, she doesn't even like. She's not around in the story long enough for me to like even have time to hate her.
She just wants money and to kill an adolescent girl to get money, which is like.
Yeah, like that's evil,
honestly,
obviously.
I
but-
think it's bad, but not as bad as you know who.
Yeah, I mean,
Honestly,
she's just corny.
think murder is worse than what you know who does.
She's just
Continually.
corny, bro. That's all. Like, she's a fucking, she's a greedy bitch. But like,
Wannabe
again, she,
Yakuza ass.
yeah, she's like not even around in the story like that long. It feels like it's a long time when it's happening because the Anjay stuff is fucking boring. Shit sucks, but like, she's just whatever, you know.
I feel like Majima wouldn't respect her, therefore, no. Not good crime person.
Virgilia in MILF tier.
Who else would we put in MILF tier then? Or does she get her own tier
Kyrie.
just because she's
Kyrie.
Kyrie?
A lot of people would put Rosa in MILF tier.
Ah, ew.
Gross.
I don't even
The
want to
people,
touch her.
the people yearn for Rosa.
The people yearn. I will because you asked for it, Jamie. I will make her a MILF tier. I do. We're not even talking about Virgilia yet. MILF. Okay. Next up is Gap or what?
I was gonna say, no, MILF tier we could just use for a general we simp for tier.
Okay. Okay.
I think we'll just put Virgilia there because I want to rank everyone here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, to be honest, I would like for Virgilia to have like a real rating as well, but we can just talk about her when the time comes.
Well, you're gonna have to kill Jamie then.
With the F,
It's a
man.
fight to
I
the
didn't
death.
say any of that.
It's a fight to
Gap.
the death.
Shirley for her friendship with Virgilia, I'd say C or top of D.
I think she's a really fun character. I think she's B. I quite enjoyed her.
Yeah, I would put her in B as well. I think on the
B?
same kind of energy as Amakusa, where she gets a lot out of her entertainment value.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't know. For me, it's like dependent on Virgilia, but all right.
It's dependent on.
We can still put her lower in B as well. Like he's saying that he thinks her relationship with Virgilia is the most entertaining thing that she has.
No, but yeah, she has about as much screen time as Amakusa, if not a little bit more.
Yeah.
So
I also thought her fight with George was hella fun.
It was hella fun.
Oh, you know what? I wasn't even considering that. Yeah, B is fine.
Yeah. I also think out of all the witches, she probably has the most interesting like abilities.
Yeah.
With all the pitfalls and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, she has Looney Tunes ability.
Yeah. Lambert Elder.
Yeah, Lamba da da da.
Like she's supposed to be funny.
She's supposed to be funny, and she's psychotic. I took her less as supposed to being funny, and she's like a psychotic narcissist. So I was thinking high B or low A.
I
really
like
I
Lambda
find
Delta
her
and
very
Burnt Castle.
entertaining.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun doing her. Cause like it's obvious that she masks her inner psychotic kind of possessive craziness with like the happy mask. And then when she like fucking when she goes mask off, it's really fun. She could be really
I don't know.
scary.
I don't feel like she really hides it, to be honest. Like it's more so like what do you call it? Like
hide it. She
just...
like I think she suppresses it for ease of communication.
Yeah, because like she tries to be all
she
cutesy. She acts like cutesy and stuff to like distract people from the fact that she's actually quite menacing.
Yeah.
Because she's like completely ruthless as well. I just didn't really find her that entertaining as all. I wouldn't put her very high, but that's just because I don't think she had enough screen time. Screen time is going to be a big thing I bring up a lot in this.
No, same here, absolutely. Yeah.
Because we hardly see her. I would personally put her in C, but I'm not gonna like fight on it. Because at the end of the day, I just don't really care.
True. Well, do you think she's more fun than Goda?
No. I don't think she's more fun than any of the people in B tier. Excuse me. Beer tier. I need a beer. But no, I think all the people
that I cannot stay consistent with the voice ever.
All the people in B I think are more entertaining than her for me personally.
I really like her.
I also like her.
Handshake
Democracy.
Democracy. Okay, since we did let's do Burn. How are we feeling about Burn?
Burn I think Castle is much better.
Burn is
because
a really
she actually
character.
Gets to be part of the story and do things. I wouldn't put her in S because I think that I don't know, her personality can leave a bit to be desired, obviously, because she's got the whole like Kudere archetype going on. Yeah.
I think there's a possibility that might change with further screen time and if she gets a little more. But I do like her conversations initially with Anjay.
Mm-hmm.
And just like the way she manipulates Ballard.
I love how she keeps it real.
Yeah.
Like she doesn't she doesn't lie, but she just kind of stays silent for when she wants to. Like she doesn't tell people things.
Yeah, she's another character that's like got her own goals and motives. So she's always like being very quiet. But you can tell she's also got a menacing side.
Yeah.
That she's keeping hidden, like we saw at the end of episode 4.
I think that might just be a trait of witches, and some witches are more aggressive than others. I think like how easily, with her coolness, she floors the other witches. They're just like, I don't know how to respond to you.
Yeah, I think Beato said that too, that like you kind of have to be cruel to be a witch.
Oh, Kinzo, you're not up yet. Go away.
But I think that I'm sure we're gonna see like how like crazy and scary she can be in the answer arcs. But I think A is good. She's strong and she's like the she's like the Riddler from Batman. You know what I mean? Like in terms of like her role in the story, like she's always like in the background, like subtly manipulating things.
Yeah.
To meet whatever goals she has, but nobody knows what those goals are.
Nope.
Arkham Riddler, not Jim Carrey or any of the other criminals.
Yeah, not Jim Carrey Riddler, no.
like Arkham Riddler.
Yeah, or like Riddler from the Batman. Basically the good Riddler stories. She's like those.
Yeah, the actual good ones.
Yeah. Also, it's really interesting to kind of like piece together in my mind like Burn Castle and Rika from Higurashi, because they're intertwined in some way. I don't know if they're the same person, but
I mean, based on design, I would assume they have to be the same person. And she literally
at me in other languages and saying made up words.
She literally teases Nipa.
Yeah,
from Higurashi, but that, I think, considering that, is kind of cheating.
It's not.
I'm not gonna lie.
I was just talking about her. I'm not considering that for any. Like, she's staying in A, but she's just interesting to me because I haven't read Higurashi, or like I've watched it, but I haven't read it, so I don't know the full lore. So
yeah, I didn't mean for the rating. I meant for like trying to understand her character, because I think the fact that she is I think the fact that she is Rika might low-key just be more of a like a reference.
Yeah, fire.
Oh wait, okay.
Sorry,
you were talking about something I haven't seen, so I was just like.
Higurashi is the first game in the.
You need to stop saying slurs on stream, Bree.
I'm trying to explain it.
Long story short, Shane, we're talking about
it's
the first
his
visual
other
novel that the guy who
word,
made
right?
this made.
Yes.
It's a whole
Yeah.
Ryokushi cinematic universe. This visual novel universe. Okay, but anything else but Burn?
I don't think so. She's cool.
I like Burn.
Gay.
I like
Yay.
Burn.
She wears
Milf.
that haircut better than Rosa.
For real.
Oh, true. Oh, I'm mad that they took away the big boobies that she had in the original sprites.
She did have boobies, yeah.
I haven't seen the original sprite. Let me look it up.
Yeah, in the old school, circa
Rika.
1990s art style, she had some nice booba.
Burn Castle. Let me look at her images. Yeah, she had some. Oh, you can barely see that on stream.
Oh no, we're talking about Virgilia, I think, right?
No, we're talking about Burn Castle.
Oh.
Yeah, Burn Castle used to have booba.
Oh, it did. Huh.
Yeah.
Why did they have boom?
I don't know.
I don't know. They flattened her. They put her in the French
Why they-
press.
Yeah,
Why
they
they-
put her in the
why they-
French press.
Why they fucking slap the no titty sticker on?
That's what I'm saying, bro.
No titties for you.
Okay, so Virgilia.
Vergoogie.
Virgilia.
She's cool. I feel like she's one of the most like unknown factors that we've seen. Like I feel like we're still kind of left in the dark about her character since the time where she got the most screen time. She mostly spent being a fake ally.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the turn and then her making the spooky face did get me though. I was like, oh,
Definitely.
Yeah, it was a great twist.
That was,
like
that was
super
a
good.
great, very instrumental to one of my favorite moments. So I would say, at the very least, B.
I'd be willing to put her in A. I think because I think she's
Okay,
she's a character that like she has good screen time and she lets us know more about the world, and like the lore with witches and stuff. I think
does explain a lot of how magic works.
Yeah.
Which is
right.
helpful.
Obviously, that's assuming all that stuff she said was true, but I would assume that it is. I think.
From the nature of how it's worked further than that, yeah.
Yeah. She's one of the most like interesting characters that I want to see like what's gonna happen to her, you know? Because like I said, we still don't know too much about her. Do you think she's actually Kumasawa or not?
I don't think so. I think she was just using her. But
Yeah, I don't think so either.
But you know, who could say, man? Because we don't know anything about
think
Kumasawa
they-
either.
Because they're both old. I do think they might have some sort of connection.
Maybe.
Or I wonder if she was like started serving when the Beatrice switched happened or something, you know, like something like that.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, for all we know, Kumasawa and Genji started around the same time, so we don't know anything. I think we'll put Kumasao in C.
I would agree.
No, I definitely like her more than everyone in D. She just doesn't really do a lot. She makes mackerel jokes. That's pretty chill.
Where are we putting her though?
Top
But
of
above the
C,
goat,
I'd
above the
say.
goat at least.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I
Alright.
mean, macro jokes. We don't know much about her. She also spies on everyone. She gets
Oh
on the
yeah,
TV.
she a real ass, she a real ass
see.
eavesdropper. Yeah.
We're getting kind of close to the main. If we're starting with servants who are not combat that much, I
Yeah,
guess we could go to Genji.
We basically have all the real characters in front of us now.
Okay,
So
let me put the servants then. We'll save the juicy parts. Where are you?
okay. Yeah, I want to talk about Genji first for sure. I think
Okay.
Genji's another super interesting character. Because I think Genji is kind of a part of my working theory as to like the solving of the mystery. Because
He's definitely instrumental, but he's so ambiguous with how involved he is with magic.
yeah, right. But it's very obvious that he'll do anything for Kinzo. He's very skilled as well.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
he knows how to kill people like 100%. Even though he only shows it in small moments. So he's like a big threat too. I would put him in A personally, because
Yeah.
I feel like you can kind of tell, even though he never like is aggressive towards anybody or like acts menacing in any way, you can tell that he's like a big threat on the proverbial game board. You know, like he could take out anybody pretty much. It seems like he's souped up with magic too in some way.
Yeah. Is it just me or is he like always killed first? Was there any episode where he made it to the end?
Not to the very end, because he
He
always
made it
like
pretty far in 2. Or
yeah, in episode 2 and 3, he both kind of survived to like the middle-ish portion,
Yeah.
I believe. But he the other 2 times he did die early.
That's interesting. He made it to the end in 2? Oh, okay.
Oh, you are right, Jamie. Yeah, Kumasawa is the Greek chorus, because whenever it's like, oh God, things horrible are happening.
Yeah, she's
All
the Greek
things
chorus.
good are happening. All things might be getting better. Things got worse.
Oh God, someone
Yeah.
died. Oh dude.
Mackerel.
Mackerel. For real. But yeah, no, Genji's
Yeah.
really interesting. I so want to know his backstory with Kinzo. Like, was he made? Was he like his BFF or some shit? Was he
I-
like what? Who is he?
Yeah, my thought is that I think he might be like just Kinzo's like #1 accomplice. Like he's just been with him so long that he's willing to support him to whatever ends. But I do think he's probably like an actual person that was similar to
Yeah.
Canon or Shannon was like transmogrified into furniture. Because it seems like there's 2 kinds of furniture, like furniture that can be made out of living humans or like furniture who are like spirits.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Genji.
was it ever implied that Genji like also knew how to handle the firearms well?
I don't know.
I don't know if it was like stated, but I feel like it's assumed that like every adult is capable of wielding a gun.
Yeah, but I mean
'Cause-
particularly because I think a lot of the witches in Kinzo's furniture, I'm wondering because they all sort of have aspects of what Genji can be, or you know, I don't know if it's some sort of like, and because they imply so much with Genji, who like has a past and was trained and like.
Oh, music.
And because all the other furniture is either it's military or like service style people. So I wonder if all the furniture is just like an allegory for these main servants. You know, if we're assuming
Right.
the magic isn't real theory.
Interesting. Alright, anything else for Genji? Good.
Nothing. I've been like skimming through the Red Truth list, so I'm trying to like get my thoughts collected for
Alright.
when we talk.
I'm
But I think that's all we have to
breakdancing.
say.
Genji definitely knows how to service Kinzo. Alright.
Oh, he's definitely given him a bro job once or twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right, next up is Shannon. I love Shannon. I think her arc in episode 2 is really good.
Yeah, she's probably the servant who gets the most narrative focus put on her.
Yeah. And also,
is
she's
she-
down for George's kink, which is
Yeah.
like admirable.
She pretty much is one of the characters who has like a full like arc displayed to completion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where she starts with a certain viewpoint on all this magic stuff and like her life, and George comes into the picture, changes how she views, and then because of those changes that she's made, you see like throughout the progression of the different versions of the game, like how that changes the outcome of certain things.
Yeah.
Like when Beatrice spoke to her the first time, compared to like that conversation they had in the bedroom where she like basically fully denounced her after initially being the person who like bought into her ideas in the first
Yeah.
place. I would give her S. I think she deserves S.
I agree. I love Shannon.
Yeah, no, fiercely loyal to George, which is adorable every time.
Mhm.
Yes. Also, she's one of the people that like, I don't know, kind of makes if you're going for magic route, she's the one that kind of like makes love equals magic like apparent in the story narrative. Like without love,
Yeah,
it cannot be seen. Is like her thing basically.
It's proven through her.
Yeah, it's proven through her. Like they were
Right.
talking about like how she sees like a dreary like day at the beach as like a sunny day, and through her love for George, she could see things in a more positive light. While Kenan is the opposite because he's a realist.
Yeah, she always improves everyone else's disposition and things of the sort.
Yeah, and then she calls that her magic, you know. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I really like her because that.
I do like her.
And then her narrative foil. Hello, Canon. Hello. I like Canon a whole lot too. Do you think that he should belong in S tier with her?
I don't think so, to be honest.
Really?
I think A above, which is what I.
Yeah, I would put him like at the top of A, maybe. I just think that
Yeah.
I sort of went up and down on him. At first, I was like, he's pretty whatever. He's kind of cringe and annoying. And then he started having his arc, and like he got better. He was pretty cool, and it was nice to see him like be honest with his feelings and defend Jessica and everything. But I feel like,
There's more.
yeah, I feel like his arc is kind of like underbaked somehow. I don't really know how to say it. I
Mhm.
feel like we never got a satisfying resolution.
Yeah.
You know? Because even though like Shannon and George like always die and they don't even get their happily ever after, like you're still like fully happy for them.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know how much they love each other.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
something about Canon, it feels like his development like isn't finished.
I think it's because he still, in the end, holds back because of the servant master dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
Like he hasn't overcome Kinzo's bullshit yet.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know what. See, that's what I'm also interested in Canon though, because he, for some reason, still kind of sticks to the furniture thing.
He does. It's like a deep-seated like thing for him.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
interesting to me because I'm wondering if there's a reason other than him being young in this horrible situation and it's the only certainty he can cling to or something like that, you know?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's tough.
I'm pretty sure like his and Shannon's going to the Golden Land was like the one thing that was probably keeping him going for a bit. Cause like he knew like as furniture that he like, you know, he could be invited to the Golden Land or he could die and both would be good. So I don't know. Maybe he was just kind of focused on that and not, you know, his actual life.
Right, because I mean, you talked about him being like the foil to Shannon, obviously. Like, with the whole without love it can't be seen, right? Like whatever it is that you got to see, bro, he is not seeing it.
He is
Like
not,
straight up.
He has a
Like
blindfold on.
Yeah.
Maria had a whole diatribe about how like, to be happy is not just for like good stuff to happen to you or for things to go your way. It's for you to like actively pull happiness out of a bad situation.
Yeah.
Whereas like he just kind of wants it to end. Like he just wants the bad stuff to stop happening because he can't imagine a future where like things are really that good for him, I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, Maria chooses actively to be loving and try to be happy and to believe in this quote-unquote magic, which I think is just because they talk about magic and the toxin.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I think this is more heading towards an allegory of the modern world and the 80s being where that really started to fucking pile on, and magic and folklore and things started to die. Because this is made by a Japanese person, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
So a lot of that folklore and tradition and a lot of those things starting to like, gone are the days of craftsmen and now it's salarymen and things things are very kind of not, I wouldn't say dystopian, but Japan is very sanitized.
Yeah.
So that like magical toxin, I'm thinking this is more of an allegory, and I don't know if this is through Battler's eyes or Kinzo's eyes, but it's definitely, I think, like the divide of generations and believing in this magic, because all the old servants and the parents used to believe pretty much.
Yeah, I mean,
But
it
as
is
they got
sort of like a
older,
generational thing.
Yeah, but it seems like because they all got involved in business trying to make their dad proud, and Kinzo, in order to get his business, I have a feeling Kinzo did not do much wheeling and dealing like they all assume he did, because he never has done anything to make me think he has any business acumen. Anyway,
For real. Okay.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say like the magic stuff is definitely like it's very much pitted as like a young versus old kind of mentality where I mean that's why the biggest fucking magic advocate in the whole game is literally a child,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. If I have
and
to hear Bree say Beatrice exists in that voice one more time,
Beatrice exists.
I'm leaving.
and like that's why Battler is like in the midst of it all, because he's on the cusp of adulthood, but he's still considered by his whole family to be kind of immature and childlike in his behavior. So for him to like take the position of wanting to deny magic so adamantly no matter what, I feel like sort of represents his desire to like speak out and say he's ready to enter the adult world, even if he maybe really isn't.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, that we'll have to get into the whole like magic versus not magic thing when we talk about the
True.
mystery.
Oh, but I want to talk about it before I forget, at least for the part remember, because Beatrice is offended by something Battler did. I
Yeah,
wonder if what he did was forget her.
Very possible.
That's
If she-
my theory.
Yeah, like Beatrice was alive in the imaginations of the children, and maybe Battler was somehow like the final straw.
Maybe.
well, we also know that like there was a real person, Beatrice, at the Kuwadorian mansion, and then she died 19 years ago, right? Or I should say 19 years ago, like from the Uchiromiya murders. But I think Battler is 19, or is he 18?
Battler's 18.
Yeah, then I'm pretty sure he would not have met the human version of Beatrice.
No, nobody knew where Kuwadorian was, and Rosa stumbled upon it as a child on accident.
Yeah, because Rosa supposedly claims that she is the one who killed the human Beatrice.
Yeah, so he wouldn't have been able to meet her.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure that's true though, but that's for later.
Yeah. Either way, I forgot. Speaking of Beatrice, we have Avatrice.
Dude, you guys see me wearing the hat. I like Avatrice.
I think she is really interesting as a character. Like your old childhood self that you keep in the back of your mind to tell you to keep going, like it becomes the worst part of you. like is a really interesting concept. I think she's annoying, but
I like her because she's unchecked ambition that sort of leads to the destruction of Anjay's world, which is really cool, and I think fits into the allegory of the generations fucking with each other.
Yeah, I would personally put her in S, but I'm fine with A as well.
Yes.
I would say split the diff top of A.
That's fine, because
I don't think she belongs. I think a lot of other characters belong in S, but
well, let me state my case at least, because Ava is already, in my opinion, one of the best characters in the game.
She is.
And that is in large part because of Ava Beatrice. Because you literally, in my mind, you can't really separate the two as characters. Their arcs are very much intertwined, but I mean, based on how much they converse with each other directly. But I think specifically what she represents for Ava is, you know, the idea of that childhood dream that you can't let go of, even though you know it's already passed you by, but you still want it so bad, and you know you never really fought to have it, but you lost it because of that. And now that obsession turns into like being tormented by that dream, right? Like the pain and the frustration that eventually leads to brutality, right? That comes from feeling like you don't live up to your potential. That's why she's so angry at the world, right? And that hatred towards the world and the life that she lives, and the disappointments that she feels like she's accrued, like is then manifest in Ava Beatrice, and she takes out all that hatred towards the world by being like vastly more brutal than anything any witch has done that we've seen on screen. My only other thing is that, you know, she I think that stuff makes it so, even if as a character herself, like maybe she can be one note, you could argue, but I think that she impacts the overall story so greatly that I feel like it can't be understated, like how much she impacts the narrative and how much she impacts your perspective on tons of other characters.
Yeah, like she basically made Beatrice into a likable character, which is a lot.
Not likable, by the way, but humanized her.
Humanized her a lot. Avatrice also pretty much solidified the post-Rokenjima timeline. Like, that was her contribution, right? Pretty much?
Yeah, because the whole reason that like Avatrice is able to exist is because we know there is a version of history where Ava is the only survivor, and people assume that she killed everyone.
Yeah, it's characters like her that give me hope for the magic doesn't exist being the thing, being the correct choice. It's because there are so many characters that are just seem just purely representative or symbolic. That's the only, because in the story, there's no way magic doesn't exist. But when you look at it through like from an observer point of view, so many of the characters are like allegorical or representative.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, it's funny because I was originally the one who said that. Like, given what we see, there's no way magic can't exist. But throughout the story, they kind of reframed it as no, technically, it still couldn't exist, because they totally, on multiple occasions, entertained the idea of like what Battler is going through is actually just some like hyper torturous purgatory, like so basically something supernatural that isn't magic.
I'm gonna be like genuinely disappointed if he's just in a coma or something, though.
No, I don't think it would be something like that. More like he's in hell, you know, like angels and demons are real, but witches are not, that kind of thing, you know? Because that's how they describe it, is like, you know, I think on literally Battler himself in moments is like, am I dying? Am I already dead? Is this hell?
Yeah.
You know, like...
that would be hilarious if it is that way, and then it's just Renova. He's like, I was the only one that was real.
True, he's a demon.
True. Speaking of Renova...
S.
Dude, Renova is awesome.
Renova is such a great character, dude.
Like, he's not as powerful as some of these people, but he doesn't give a fuck. Well, he might be, to be honest. Like, I don't know. He's one of those where he has such a personality, yet he's still an enigma somehow.
Yeah.
But it's good. Like,
because he actively takes the role as like a spectator in everything and nothing more. Like, he doesn't really care what happens, but he's still interested in seeing how it unfolds, which almost makes him like scarier than a lot of the witches, because like they're actively invested in the outcome. And even though Renove, like, he works for them technically, he will also just like talk shit to them because he just doesn't like. I'm pretty sure he's implied to be like more powerful than some of the witches as well.
Yeah, I also think in the allegory sort of universe thinking, he's a demon. He's the devil's advocate because he always is.
Yeah. Regardless of who he's talking to, whether it's like Beato or Battler, he's always encouraging them to like think things from a different perspective.
Yeah.
Because I think he did say like, I was put here to facilitate the game, like make sure the game keeps happening.
Yeah.
He's super interesting, dude. And he's also like not cruel like so many of the other characters we see that are aligned with the witches.
When he kills people, he gives them dignity purposefully. I was like, damn,
does.
that's such a...
Oops.
And they do that, like, after Avatrice does her thing, so it's such a contrast.
Yeah, 'cause they definitely wanted you to, like, notice that he's, like, he retains a lot more humanity than any of the other witches do.
Oh, hey, Peyton.
What up, Peyton?
Get into Umineko. It's a good experience if you have a lot of time on your hands.
This will be heavy spoilers, though.
Yeah, this is super heavy spoilers. Hey, if you don't want to get into the game, watch our VODs. Oh!
Don't do that. Please actually read it. I hate people who do that with visual novels. Watch the videos and read it.
At the same time.
The content is not a substitute. Please go actually experience the story.
It's true.
I'm sorry, babe, but I'm very serious. You know this visual novel shit is serious.
It is. I will be revealing the answer to this stream lying.
They said lying. Thank you for stopping by, bro.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Be sure to like and
like and
have a good day.
And super
be sure to be
Beatrice.
Beatrice.
Can I complain about Natsuhi? I hate this bitch.
No! Why do you
I also don't like Natsuhi.
No!
Dude, she's annoying. She doesn't accomplish anything.
Misogynist.
No, I literally just said that Ava is one of the best characters.
Because she hates misogyny.
No.
S tier is in gender equilibrium right now. You cannot call it.
It's true. It's so true. It's so true. This is slanderous as fuck.
You hate her because she's a real woman. I'm joking.
What does that even mean, bro?
What? Yeah. What does that?
Chat.
mean?
What is a real woman, huh? What's a real woman, babe?
I mean,
define woman.
I'm joking.
I'm Charlie Kirking you right now. What is a woman?
The reason I like her so much is because I guess, like, except from episode 1, she doesn't really get that much screen time after that, which is unfortunate. But
you like her because she doesn't get screen time?
Well, okay. Anyway, I like her because in episode 1 we get to see her at her best, which is like dependable. She's smart, but she still, like, you know, keeps her femininity about her, which makes Ava hate the fuck out of her, because she is succeeding in, like, being or with Kinzo accepting her, right? Even though she isn't a part of the family by blood. And Ava hates the fuck out of that.
I do really appreciate her ambition and forward-thinking ability. It's just that so many times it does end up falling flat, and I don't know if that's the fault of just, you know, the world and it being a game and the game board, or if that is her actual, like, because she talks a lot of shit and then just barely isn't able to back it up.
Well, that's the thing, bro. Like, babe, you didn't even fully state why Ava hates her, because Ava's so justified to hate her, to be honest. Because, like, she doesn't just hate her because she has Kinzo's approval. She has Kinzo's approval while not contributing anything. She doesn't do anything, bro.
She does do.
No. Let me finish, bro. All she does in the whole fucking game, all she does is sit around And she's like, you guys can't do that. You're being rude. You're being disrespectful. Dick riding all the men who have power in the family, aka Kinzo and her husband. And yes, when shit goes down, when shit got serious and people were dying, yeah, she was dependable then. I understand that. But in the grand scheme of everyday life in the family, you know who she is? She's Krause's wife. And to Kinzo, that is more valuable than an actual daughter who has like real accomplishments, because she doesn't fit that role of being a traditional woman. So she's hella justified to hate her. I'm not saying that makes her a bad person, but what I'm saying is that, like, outside of that one, like, episode of the storyline, she doesn't contribute shit the whole time. All she does is turn up her nose and criticize other people and be like, you can't do that. Don't speak to my husband that way. Yada, yada, yada. Like, she's just hella annoying. And she also helps maintain like the very hierarchical gender structure in the Ushiromiya family that we have been shown is damaging to the entire family. Like Kinzo's ideas of like how to be a proper man and how to be a proper woman and how to fit your role, that damaged all 3 of his children.
But is that her fault?
I just said she's implicit in it. She helps maintain it actively.
Well, that's where she finds her power, though. Like, she finds her power in being in that hierarchical structure. Like, she runs the entire house. She runs the entire serpent.
The problem is that she pushes it on other people just like they do, and that's wrong.
Does she?
Yes, what do you mean? The whole game she's like she like fucking uses her like fake authority that she gets from being married to Kraus to tell people how to act all the time. We literally see her bitching for like 50%, probably more, of the time she's on screen. Like why would I like a character that does nothing but criticize people all day and doesn't contribute anything?
She is a little bit like, if you know Wormtongue from Lord of the Rings, she does put off those vibes a lot.
I do not know who Wormtongue is.
He's the little greasy guy who hangs out with the King of Man and then cuddles up to Saruman.
But
yeah,
it's down the stairs. Yeah.
Bottom line, I just don't like that she lets her position in the family be an excuse to act like she's better than people. That's basically what I'm saying, broadly.
I mean, like, I can understand that, but I feel like the only times where she combats people is when they're talking shit about Kraus, or like something she doesn't...
which he pretty much always deserves. Like, he actually deserves to have those things said to him, and she's just defending him on the basis of, well, that's my husband, he can't do anything wrong.
Okay, well, where would you guys rank her then?
D.
I would say C.
I'm putting her in C.
She's the only member of the main family that I think is worthy of D. The rest of them are all good to great.
Well...
I'm talking about character writing, bro.
Well, what criteria are we rating people on then?
Well, I mean, that's why it's a list between the 3 of us, because we're trying to like compromise on what we all value. So I'm just talking about my personal thoughts. You know?
Gotcha.
All right.
But we made the tier. We gotta use it.
No, that's fine. I'm just gonna talk about Rosa when we get there.
Yeah. Okay. You want to save it?
I mean, yeah, that's the whole point, right? Same thing with the MILF tier. We're gonna put them in there for the meme, but we might as well still talk about the character.
Oh yeah.
I'm glad. All right. Next up is Kyrie. I believe she gets at least an A tier.
Yeah, Kyrie is a solid A. I wish she did more in the story.
Yeah, she did quite a bit in the story. She's always, unlike the other adults, encouraging Battler to think critically and try and crack this thing. She's the parent who's very much like, yes, use your brain. Good job. That's awesome that you even want to do that. Like, good parent.
Yeah. Also, the shit with Asumu is kind of nuts to think about. How, like, I don't know, like, her feud with Asumu and how Asumu, like, baby trapped Rudolph, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Kirio's like, okay, I'm gonna wait till she fucking dies. She dies, she's like, alright, I'm in.
Yeah, her storyline was actually very much an interesting spin on the traditional, like, marriage cheating kind of storyline, where, like, you always assume like the person that the spouse cheats with is like kind of the bad person, right? Because cheating is bad. But then they leave that alone for like 3 whole episodes of story, and then they finally drop it on us like, no, like the first wife was actually a bad person and he was trying to get out.
Yeah.
It's because we only saw it through Battler's
she's this
perspective, right? We only saw it through his
corny,
perspective.
self-made criminal bitch who's annoying.
Yeah, right. Because when Battler's talking about it, he only says what he knows, which is like, my dad cheated on my mom. My mom is dead now. My dad's kind of a jerk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I guess he never really knew Kyrie like that,
No, he
almost
didn't.
at all.
He really didn't.
But yeah, she gets cool moments too. Her beating up what's the green one, Leviathan.
Yeah.
Being like, I'm way more envious than you, bitch.
Yeah,
I
she
had to
fucking
wait to
kills
get
her.
married to my husband. That shit's funny.
Hell yeah. I was like, was she the oldest or the youngest sister between these two?
She was older.
Yeah, she was the oldest.
That's why what's her face had to get married to like her planned husband.
Yeah, dude, crazy.
But I'd also argue MILF.
She is
If
also
we could do
MILF.
both of it, yeah.
Yeah, her tits are massive. I'm down for MILF.
MILF, gray-haired MILF.
But MILF. You know what I mean?
but MILF.
Yeah.
A but MILF.
A but MILF.
Yeah, but MILF.
MILF but A but MILF.
Yeah.
Whatever you know.
Oh yeah,
It's
a MILF.
A MILF.
Yeah, a MILF. Real.
Okay, next up is Kraus. Hey Kraus.
Kraus is kind of a big weenie.
Kraus is a huge weenie. But
Yeah.
I definitely could not put him higher than like a low B.
But yeah, he's such a weenie,
also
except
argue low
for
B.
for episode 4, because then he is actually about action with Kyrie, and I was surprised to see that he was about that action.
Yeah, like I mean, they kind of proved that all the adults will you know put themselves at risk when the when like the shit hits the fan, you know.
It
like
just takes a lot more pressure with him than it really should.
Yeah, also that's not true. Rosa did still like help out the kids and help keep them safe. She's just a bad person still, you know.
She still turned on them though at the very end, and then she only cared about Maria.
Well, and you know what, man? Can she love her daughter or not?
Yeah, but she's not dependable.
Yeah, she
We
kind of
hate-
a
we
switch
hate
upper.
Rosa. We
She
hate
a switcher.
Rosa.
Especially with the last few bombs that have been dropped with her vacation thing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the Sakutaros possibly not being unique.
Yeah. Anyway.
I think I think Kraus is like I said, he's a big weenie. Him and Natsuki like they create like a lot of annoyances together, because don't think that just because I had a whole diatribe about how much I don't like Natsuki means that her fucking husband is getting away scot-free, because this guy also is pretty fucking annoying for the vast majority of the game, because he also like directly reinforces like the power structure that Kinjo wants to have in the family that has damaged all of his children.
Yeah.
I think they are both annoying but necessary.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's why he likes them, because they, even though it's low-key not really fitting for them, like, they still are willing to adopt, like, the lifestyle he wants his children to live, so they can stay in his good graces, which is pretty fucking cowardly, to be honest.
Yeah.
You could also argue he might be one of the most selfish members of the family.
Oh, definitely.
Like, because he's pretty much only interested on like, the needs of him, his wife, and his father. Like, that's pretty much the core of what he cares about.
So was it?
And if you go back to the first or second game, he's willing to burn the entire fortune just to make sure that his constituents get nothing.
Yeah. Like, was it confirmed that he was actually kind of laundering money from the inheritance?
Yes.
I think because Kenzo was talking about it in episode 4 when he's like, "Kraus, you fucker, and you're not."
Because he was making bad business investments, hoping they would return, and then also like funneling a little bit of the inheritance money into it because he thought Kenzo wouldn't notice, and he's like, "Oh, I'll just make it back."
Yeah, I remember. I think I remember Kenzo confirming that. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, basically like completely fucking up things like for whoever would be the next successor right when the inheritance is about to roll around, just because he's confident that he can fix it, and maintains to be in like complete denial that he's doing anything wrong for the majority of the time.
Kraus
Yeah, he
would
literally
fall
would
for
fall
Kraus.
for a crypto pump and dump. It would work on him.
Yeah. Also,
I-
as successor, he's bad. Like he's
Oh,
just
yeah.
bad. Like,
Yeah,
he doesn't-
he's not
he
fit.
actually doesn't give a shit about the family beyond his daughter.
No,
which
he
only cares about because he wants his line to inherit.
Yeah, right. Like he's more so just interested in like preserving what comes from the family in terms of like preserving the family. You know.
He's only ever interested in the dynasty game rather than actually being a part of the family.
Mhm. If we're gonna put Natsuki in C, I want Kraus right next to her. To be honest, can we have that?
Aw, so cute.
Because yeah, I think he's kind of. I think they deserve to be next to each other because they're both fucking reinforcing all this Kinzo bullshit. That's the worst part. They know they don't even like it either. Like how it affects them.
Yeah.
They're not happy about it either, but they still do it. Which is like that is sad, and I feel for them. But you
Okay.
still have freedom of action.
Okay, so the criteria is just how we feel about the characters, not necessarily how well written they are.
I mean,
I feel
how
like
well
that
they are
plays
written.
I feel like that plays into it, right?
Yeah, like
I mean, it will no matter what, but I mean more so like how we feel, not necessarily like morally how good or bad they are, or
yeah, it's as simple as how each of us feel individually, whatever that means to us, and what our individual
Okay.
criteria are. You know, like compromised. That's why we haven't put anybody in a spot we don't all agree on,
Mhm.
right?
yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah, no,
when I'm talking about
there's nothing that I think is like egregious. Yeah.
yeah, like I weigh character writing the most heavily when doing this kind of stuff. So that's what my thoughts are mostly based off of. But we're still, we're combining what I think with what you guys think, like,
Yeah.
so it all evens out because we all value different stuff.
For real.
For realsies.
For realsies.
Oh shizzle, my nizzle
For
dog.
shizzles. Okay.
Babe, who's next?
Hideyoshi.
Hideyoshi.
Okay, my heart wants to put him in S, but what do you guys think?
Like S would be like if I was like full bias, because I just think he's just a good guy. He's awesome. He loves his wife. He has a healthy business, married into the family, so he'll never be the successor, but he doesn't care about that.
I'd say mid to high A. Yeah, there's nothing to push him over the edge into that super sauce category.
Yeah,
But
when it
he's
comes to
like an
Go ahead.
enjoyable character, a good
Yeah.
guy, contributes as much as he can, though it may not be like immediate magic or brilliant mental solutions, but he's always the one leading people to like
Yeah.
big
Yeah.
breakthroughs.
he's just happy to have a family. That's true, Jamie. Bro's just so full of joy. Hideyoshi's
Yeah.
just a good guy. The only
Also, ironically, I think the best businessman out of all of them.
Yes.
Oh,
'cause
probably,
he actually
yeah.
has a successful business. Anyways.
Yeah,
because he
and-
started from the bottom. Now he here.
yeah, he got to have the respect of being a self-made man, and then like married into a family of intense wealth. He won.
He did
Yeah.
win.
My only knock towards him as a character is that it makes me a little sad that he never gets to be too directly involved with the mystery stuff.
How?
Like, he never gets to have like a cool ass moment, Like most of the time, he'll be around, he'll be helpful, but then he ends up being a murder victim.
Yeah.
Also, it'd be funny if he dies while getting a beach from Ava.
That'd be hella funny. That's true.
Dude. I really wish, was there ever a moment where he like straight up yelled at Ava? Like he just like got her
No.
in check? I don't think so.
Oh, there was like one time I think where he like called her a fool or something.
I don't think
Because-
he ever yelled. I think there's definitely been times where he's just straight up like, nah, you're wrong. That's a stupid opinion. Why would you have that? Like,
Yeah, he's been stern with her every now and then because he's like, you're freaking out about this shit for no reason. Like, we have a family, we love each other, it's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
I think he might have like yelled at her because she was already yelling.
Mm.
But
Yeah,
it was never
basically.
like a shut the fuck up sort of thing.
No, it's like, bitch, you're being crazy, but I love you.
Yeah,
You're
it
my
was
crazy
more like a-
bitch.
Raising to her level so she would listen.
Yeah.
It wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just really glad that Ava found a guy like Hideyoshi. Like he is like I feel like the perfect partner for her.
Oh, dude, her life would be terrible without him.
Yeah.
Like straight up.
Yeah. She would tear herself apart without him. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
he lets her be independent. He lets her be strong and powerful, whatever she needs to be. But he also knows when to like rein her in. Because Lord knows she needs that.
Yeah, right. He's like the perfect supporting player in her
Yeah.
life, you know? She still basically gets to do what she wants to do, but he can catch her when she falls, and he can support her and prop her up when she's succeeding.
Yeah.
Also, clearly a good dad.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
he's a great
yeah.
dad to George.
George easily the most like well-off, well-adjusted member of the kids for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. There's Jamie keeps hinting at the thing about there's something reason why people don't like George, but I still don't see it.
I think we'll get to that when we talked about him.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's in answer arcs, to be honest. I'm just assuming we haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Because like George has kind of consistently been the GOAT the whole time.
I
Yeah.
really like George.
Okay,
a lot.
okay. Before we talk about George, let's talk about Ava.
Okay, yeah.
I love Ava. Ava is
I
one of my
really like
favorite
Ava.
characters, which
Ava's
is
a good
funny
character.
because the whole time the story was going on, I'm pretty sure you guys heard me consistently say that she's a bitch and I don't like her.
Oh no, like
And that-
her episode 1 and 2, she was an absolute bitch.
Yeah, and that's still true. She is a bitch the whole time, but she's a wonderfully well written bitch, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because like it's really fucked up and sad why she turned out the way she did, because she's the best example of how Kinzo's parenting style affected all of his children.
Yeah.
Which makes sense since she was like kind of singled out as like essentially somebody who would have been the perfect candidate for heir
Yeah.
if she was not a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's also incredibly good at persuading people despite how manic she can get,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
which is impressive.
It's because what she says is always true.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot like God, she's such a psychotic bitch, but then she drops a truth bomb and you're like
She is
Well,
the
yeah.
nuke.
Because like she suffered so much because of her like position in the family, and still came out with a successful life, but at the end of the day she still held back from like what she truly wants, and because of that she's kind of like, fuck it, I'll just watch the world burn, I really don't care as long as my family's good.
She's a pretty shit person, but George still turned out to be fine. How do you think she turned out to be a decent mom for George? I mean, I feel like she was the hard ass 100%.
I think the traditional like picket fence parent roles were reversed.
Yeah.
George
Yeah.
got a lot of his emotional sensitivity and introspectiveness from Hideyoshi rather, and he got the like you gotta be a man cold-heartedness thing from Ava.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, right.
like he through all of the like conflicts with like him and Shannon versus Ava, how she felt with their marriage, like he knew that she'd be mad at it, but he knew it was only because she loved him and she wanted him to have a good life. So I feel like she, you know, even though she could be a hard ass and she could be a bitch, like he knew that she loved her, and so
Generally, yeah, like a net positive to
Yeah.
George's life. I think that's one of those things where you can tell someone has a little bit of internalized misogyny if they're like, no, Ava's completely horrible. She's never like, if you
Yeah,
condemn
I
her
mean,
too hard, then it's
Yeah.
like, are you really listening to her at all?
well,
Like,
because the whole thing is that like she has internalized
Like
misogyny.
misogyny, yeah.
Like that's what
Yeah,
her character
yeah,
is
yeah,
about.
yeah.
You know, like that's why she butts heads with Natsuhi so often, like I said, because Natsuhi didn't really do anything, didn't really accomplish anything on her own, but because she's married to the current oldest son and is a good wife, Kinzo respects her more than Ava, somebody who actually has a ton of accomplishments, is talented, is a good candidate for successor,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
she's not supposed to be because she's a woman.
yeah,
And
like
because of that,
that's-
she hates women like that.
Yeah, that's where I agree with Brie a lot about Natsuhi, is that it's like she uses that societal pressure and in the you gotta stay feminine, be a woman, and she like uses it. She
Yeah.
manipulates that very well. Other than like her personality is where that goes away from where like
Mhm.
admiring that goes away from me.
Yeah.
But-
That's understandable.
but
Yeah.
I was listening to your points with that, Bria. I
Well,
100% agree. It's just, it sucks that she also had to be really just, just straight up Krause's number 2 all
Yeah.
the time. Yeah.
I also think like Ava's actual character flaw is really just like I said, how she views like femininity and other women, like because
Yeah.
that's why she still had no problem parenting George, because like her personal issues really have nothing to do with like how she would raise a child, thankfully, because he's a
Yeah.
boy.
Yeah.
I think if she had a daughter, there would have been massive problems.
Yeah, there would have been no one. It was really different.
Because after suffering like like Kinzo and like the structured misogyny in the family, and basically being told like, I don't really care if you can't be a good wife and produce like an heir for me, like then it doesn't really fucking matter to me what you do. And Ava basically said, okay, fine, I'm just gonna keep doing me. But then she took like the opposite stance of women who don't want to be like me are bad women.
Yeah.
And then Kyrie's the crafty code switching between the two. Like she uses both.
Yeah.
Yeah, she actually
Which
has
is
balance.
Which is why she's at odds with both at sometimes and agrees with both.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, right? I mean, well, that's why you notice like both Natsuki and Ava boast about being a good mom, but Kyrie doesn't, because she's an actually good mom.
Yep.
Really good mom. Yeah. Oh yeah, we didn't talk about that too much. Like, well, I mentioned a couple things, but I want to talk more about how Kyrie is a really good mother.
Dude, it made me hurt. Like, my heart broke when Battler started to call her mom.
Yeah.
In episode 4.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Like, like he was at odds with her so much at the start of the whole thing, and then at the end he's just like, love you, mom. Like, fuck.
Yeah, I mean, she has like I said, she has balance, like good balance between like her responsibilities as a mom and her responsibilities to like, being Rudolph's number 2 in their shared career. Like, that she's what an actual good mom looks like, like when people talk about having it all, like, she's able to do it. It's not impossible to do, but you have to really have your priorities straight. So I think, she's a good example of like, the different flaws in Ava and Natsuhi's parenting style.
Yeah.
All 3 of them kind of have something different to say about like the dynamic of like, being a woman versus being a mom.
Yeah.
I very much appreciate the writing a lot, and that's how, just because most VN writers will make a character Gary Sue or Mary Sue-ish or perfect in one aspect or another to push the plot along and to use them as an anchor point. But the author in this does not. Everyone has their flaws with everyone. Everyone makes their mistakes, like, with everything. Nothing is. The characters are very human, which I like a lot.
Yeah,
even
definitely.
the characters that aren't human.
Yeah, I mean, I think
the chessboard around immediately goaded.
It really helps that the story is primarily centered around a family, because like the like all the like offshoot background characters, like we've kind of talked about how they don't really get much, but like the characters that Ryukishi cares about, you can tell that he really cares.
Yeah. Hell yeah. All right. Rudolph. I think he's a good A character for real.
Yeah, I think mid A.
Yeah, and because of the battler only perspective, he was another character I didn't really like at first. He just seemed like kind of a womanizing jackass. But we really see them unpeel his layers over the first 4 episodes, and he's actually a really like good guy.
He is a good guy, yeah.
Yeah. Very entertaining character as well. Some of the shit he says made me cackle.
Sucker Mary Barrels. Remember that?
What?
He said
I do remember Sucker Mary
Sucker
Barrels.
Mary Barrels.
When
Yeah.
did you say that?
I remember that.
I forget which episode, but he did say that.
Yeah. Because I forget how they structured it, but it was like a suck my balls joke.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was when he was trying to talk in English. Yeah.
Yeah, because he was like, oh, what would this be if you removed all the E's and R's?
Yeah,
Sucker Mary Barrels.
Yeah. He's also very. You can tell he is the reason why Battler is the way he is with certain things.
Oh yeah, he's like Battler's
totally.
like a carbon copy. Sometimes.
Classic case of I don't like my dad is just like my dad.
Is like my dad. Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, like inside of his really like confident, headstrong exterior, there's like a soft guy in there who loves his wife and loves his child and would do anything for them.
And loves his sibling. Like when they're the lulls between when they're arguing, he like Isn't there a couple times where he's like checking in with his siblings, like
Yeah, he's
trying to
actually
have a
like
normal conversation
in
and not be always hostile.
yeah, in the dynamic of the older siblings, he's like arguably the peacemaker most of the time. But I guess that makes sense because he's the middle kid,
Yeah.
right?
It's just the only way he goes wrong is his treatment of Rosa, because he was complicit in Rosa's mistreatment as a child.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Because they all treat her the same
Yeah.
because she's younger than them. So like,
Yeah.
you know, that's their shared thing is like all ripping on her together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rudolph is a slut, affectionate. Listen, that's
Truth.
just his kink, man. And Kyrie is into it too.
Yeah, I think Kyrie's into like, she. It's definitely a dynamic where she's like, "I'm gonna punish you for what you said later."
Wow.
I feel
got
like
you.
that's the dynamic.
And he's like, hell yeah!
And he's like,
I love my wife.
I love my wife.
I always wondered like how he feels towards his kids since they came from like a wife that he didn't like who baby trapped him.
Like, it's so obvious he loves Battler so much, even though Asumu baby trapped him. Like, he cares a lot about Battler.
yeah.
It seems like he was really able to separate like that misfortunate stuff from his son.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like his, like the way because he does administer tough love, and he treats Battler like the shitty teenager he is, because there's teenagers.
Yeah, it really is impressive how like episode 3 and 4 specifically breaking away from like the battler only perspective really helped like reframe his behavior. Because when all we have are battler's thoughts on the things he's saying, he looks like a dick, like a huge asshole who like just is shitting on his son because he thinks it's funny and he thinks he's a loser. But then as you go on, like he's still saying all of the same stuff, but it's like reframed as actually being like kind of endearing and playful.
Yeah.
Because now you know what he's actually like.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, it's one of those things where in episode 1 and 2 you don't really know who he is.
Yeah.
But then you find out who he is, and I imagine now if I read back some of those shitty things he was saying about like on the boat to the beach when they were getting in the house, because he was just ragging on him that whole time.
Yeah.
I would have been like, yeah, I think he was probably trying to distract Battler from being seasick and all that, like giving him like something to fight, because
Yeah.
Battler was
Mhm.
really like fucked up for the beginning of
Yeah.
episode 1. Like that genuinely was like Battler acting weird, and then his dad is like, I'm gonna poke him so he doesn't die.
Right.
Rudolph the goat. Okay. Are you guys ready to talk about not the goat?
Dude, listen. One of the goats in terms of quality of writing
Oh
only.
yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Like
Absolutely.
if this was just my list where I heavily, like I said, heavily prioritize like how good they actually are for the story and how well of a character like is crafted, Rosa would definitely be an S for me.
Can you change it
Absolutely.
to hell
ahead.
for well-written bitches.
Yeah, there you go. Absolutely dog shit, terrible shit stain of a human being, but a fucking amazingly crafted character, because everything that she says and does, no matter how awful it is like given proper context and is always very believable and very understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's layers and layers of here's another horrible thing, but it's not in a way where it's like, oh, and he's a necromancer, and he raped his wife,
Right.
But no, it's like with her, it's all these horrible things coming in, like, oh, she would, oh, that's why she did that, oh, fuck you, like,
Yeah.
Yeah, right. It fucking got me when she just talked about how much she genuinely hates her own child.
Yeah.
Which like it was always a question that they were begging. It was like under the surface, like, does she care? Does she really love her? She's trying to love her, but that's all it was. She was trying to love her.
was
She
trying
doesn't.
to. Yeah, Rosa is just the epitome of the cycle TM. She highlights the familial abuse cycle and she perpetuates it. And then by doing that, she also continues it to Maria.
Yeah.
And it just keeps going.
yeah.
I think there's a little bit of projection from how she feels about Maria, honestly, because I could totally imagine like a world where, like I literally misspoke earlier and said Kinzo had 3 kids. Like she kind of comes off as the one who, like, you know, maybe if Kinzo didn't have one more kid, it's actually very possible the family dynamic overall could be a bit healthier.
Yeah.
Which is really fucked up.
Yeah.
Because, like, for her older siblings, she was, like, all of their emotional punching bag for the individual stuff that they went through. So nobody had to address it. Nobody ever worked anything out. They all just beat up on her, and she always took it. And that led into her being, like, the most fucked up out of all of them, which is then extremely damaging for her child.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also, but also, I think she's just uniquely horrible because I know people in real life who have had a similar family dynamic, if not worse, and came out way better.
Oh yeah, she's definitely far from a product of circumstance. Like, you can tell that, like, she just committed to being a mom when she didn't want to.
Yeah.
I think some of her behaviors are a product of circumstance, but
Yeah.
a majority of them are her choosing to be
Oh yeah.
so emotionally selfish, despite her knowing how that can affect people, i.e. herself.
Oh yeah.
Right? Because of how her siblings treated her in the failed marriage, like, she
She's choosing
feels
not
like,
to be empathetic. She's
yeah, because
choosing
she feels like nobody left in the world cares about her, even though Maria is right there and she
Yeah.
treats her poorly.
Exactly.
Because, like, that's not what she wants. Like, comfort from a child to her is not the same as comfort from, like, a lover, even though the love Maria has is very real.
Yeah, 100%. Also, speaking of Maria, Jamie said if Maria survives to adulthood, she's not beating the cycle because of what happened to Sakuto, and I agree with that. Maria, if Maria did survive, she would have not beaten the cycle. Like, she would have continued it, like, sadly.
Well, I don't think she would have, like, continued the cycle directly. I would envision her, like, just kind of growing up into, like, not like for lack of a better term, like a waste of an adult. Like, she would kind of just, like, not really, like, do much with her life. Like, probably not find love, not start a family. Like,
yeah.
basically just kind of, like, probably live in solitude.
Teller with the crystal ball scamming people.
Yeah.
She'd do tarot readings.
Yeah, I think her life would probably just be lonely forever.
Yeah.
I think that cycle abuse could, like, I don't think it would be broken if, like, she was, like, the only survivor or something. I think if she gets more of a childhood with her cousins, I think it could be broken, because the kids are, when it comes to not like repeating the sins of their parents, the kids are really good at that, but I suppose we will get to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All we could say is Rosa is super well written, but
Super well written.
but she has a lot of flaws that cannot be forgiven. She did a lot of fucked up shit.
Yeah, I'm always of the opinion that, like, you know, it's just fiction, so, like, I can't get, like, legitimately mad over the things that she's done and be like, you're a bad character because of this, because I'm not gonna apply real world moral standards to, like, a story.
Yeah.
Because she's a phenomenal character, but man, there are multiple times where she just left my jaw on the floor because I thought she couldn't do anything more fucked up.
Yeah, Ryukishi,
and then she did.
Like, he was what did Jamie say? He was part of CPS. That was
because he said he drew from personal experience when like writing about some of the stuff Maria goes through with Rosa.
Yeah, it is completely accurate. Especially
he
how
was like
she
a child welfare officer or something like that. I think it's called.
He just the way he writes her, like, you could tell that she is narcissistic, and like
some of the shit she says, like, I've heard from other parents, and like when like even my mother was, you know, had her stint with the liquor and said some things, you know.
Yeah, completely realistic how she's written, which is I've never seen that in a character before, at least in a visual novel setting, where their abuse is so realistic to the point of, like, you have to reflect on your own life. You're like, oh shit, I've heard that.
Yeah, I think a lot of people who have had like difficulties where, you know, with like a parent, whether it be like hardcore abuse or not, like you can still find stuff to relate to in that storyline. I think it's just because, like, you know, it's always a scary thing for a lot of people, not to use buzzwords, but for people who like kind of lack media literacy. Like, it's always tough to like humanize and give context to the abuser,
Yeah.
because so many people will instantly take that as you like gratifying them or trying to get sympathy for them.
Yeah.
When I feel like in the vast majority of time that's not the case. I think like all the humanizing of Rosa honestly only served to make her seem worse as like in terms of her quality of character,
Mm-hmm.
because she
despite these life experiences, she's still choosing to be alive.
yeah, right, she should have learned, but she didn't, because she'd rather like stay comfortable in her own little world and hurt people.
Yeah.
Because she's been hurt and she thinks that makes it okay, you know?
Yeah.
Like long story short, you know, like when you see stuff like that, try and think twice, because it might seem like, oh, why do they want to teach me so much about this bad person? Like they're bad. Like, yeah, they know, but sometimes learning why the bad person is so terrible helps make the story more effective.
Yeah. 100%.
But yeah, no, I hope she is forced to parent Christian Weston Chandler in hell for all of eternity.
There's layers of tragedy to that.
Yeah, that's purgatory. Good.
If she was Christian's mom.
You are forced to just reincarnate into mother.
I'm here looking for my true sweetheart.
Okay.
Kinzo!
Kinzo! Where
Kinzo.
are we putting Kinzo?
Dude, S.
I think
That's-
S, 100%.
Okay. Where in S though? Who is he?
I
My
might put him at the
favorite
top.
maniac.
Really?
Probably. I think he's kind of the GOAT. Like, he is such a fascinating character. Like,
He's such an obsessive weirdo, but in a way that's somehow endearing.
Yeah.
dude, it's like he's
I don't know.
oxymoronic, bro. Like, I know nothing about him, yet somehow I understand him.
Yeah. He is just like the end all be all of everything in this like family and story. Like, he's the originator of the family, you know, curse with Beatrice. He's the originator of all the abuse that everyone went through that trickled down throughout generations. Like, he's the man.
I guess
He's
so.
also the originator of all the folklore and the
Yeah.
knowledge that leads to all the symbolism.
He's the
like,
goldsmith, baby.
He's the goldsmith, but also, if you look at all of the furniture, they are all creatures that fit under his speciality, that fit under this thing that he has espoused his family to over generations.
Yeah.
He's the reason all of these images of seven deadly sins and demons and magical creatures and guns and Western military ideals.
Yeah, man.
He's the reason
Yeah.
the
Offer some
family
pussy?
knows about all that.
Yeah, offer some witchessy.
Oh, for some
Well, I
witches.
think that's just his personal like aesthetic, but also yes.
Yeah, it's so interesting because like literally the entire story wouldn't exist without him.
Yeah.
But you know, because of that, he's like artificially like the most important character, because he you know, creates the what's the word, like, you know, the kickoff event for the story, right? The inciting incident.
The
Yeah.
inception,
Yeah, right. But for like the first two episodes, he's really hardly present.
Yeah.
And
But
I remember myself being like, where is he?
Yeah.
But you feel his presence like
always.
throughout everything,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, after learning more about him, like if we went back and read episode 1 and 2, like, you know, it would be so obvious where his influence is, because we learned so much about what he did to the whole family.
Yeah. Also,
Yeah,
he's a
well-
dragon.
Yeah, he's a dragon, true.
Yeah. Also, he was a dragon. And also, but he does that generationally too.
Yeah.
He's also the thing that's hanging over. Like, we have the beautiful thing where George and Shannon are able to get away. They're able to get away from his influence.
Yeah.
That's the only reason they were able to have that happy moment, because they're not on his island. She is not working under him, under
Right.
his thumb.
Yeah.
But I don't hate the fact that he is quote unquote artificially the like inciting important character, because I'm glad that it's him, because it's like thinking back to the intro when because you get that right away. That's literally his character introduction, is him being like, play chess with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I know we're probably gonna get it later, but I want to know his backstory with Beatrice. What all fucking went down? And
Yeah,
why
'cause
she like
we don't
hates
know
him,
everything.
Yet loves him. Like,
Yeah, because we know that, like, you know, to some degree, like they were in love and they have history, and she died, but like he did something to bring her back somehow.
Mhm.
Simultaneously, Beatrice somehow is like thinks herself better than him and above him, but also below him in way. Like,
yeah,
so...
because like she's supposedly the reason the family is rich now.
Yeah.
It's
But
so weird.
she listens to what he says a lot too, though.
Yeah, right.
Like she's very like loyal and obedient to him for some fucking reason when it feels like she really doesn't need to be.
They have the dynamic of like, you know, like a toxic couple who are kind of bad for each other, but they just can't quit.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like they treat each other as equals, but like they will just like sometimes they will just like completely like flip the switch and like disrespect each other.
Yeah.
I feel like what we're collectively trying to say is that Lady Gaga would have dated Kenzo.
Dude, she hella would have.
I want your
what's up.
bad romance.
I mean, like so many of I think back on Lady Gaga lyrics and I'm like, that's Kenzo.
True. And also, it's I think Kenzo is like, aside from Shannon, the character most fueled by his idea of love. You know, everything is about Beatrice. All of his, you know, machinations, all of his rituals, it's for her. And like in his own fucked up, twisted way.
It's also what makes his magic unique.
Yeah.
Is because like Shannon has her romantic, hopeful love, and Beatrice has, you know, her weird love for just hedonism and seeing things, like just making things happen, this love for like drama basically. And then Kinzo's like, well, I love this one thing and that's it, the one thing.
Because Beato described his magic as like gambling, basically, like this complete like deranged, like outwardly insane level of commitment, because you love something so much that you would risk anything, sacrifice anything to have it.
Mm-hmm.
And when Kinzo's talking about the epitaph, like he feels like the heir has to be somebody who can share that sentiment with him, like to love something so much that you would literally do anything, give anything. Like if you can't do that, you can't succeed him.
Yeah, it's funny because he said Maria did well.
Yeah, I mean, well, because literally the only thing she wants is like her own happiness, pretty much, and she'll give anything for that.
And she loves her mother and her cousins, like with all her fucking little weird ass heart. Speaking of little weird ass heart.
Speaking of Maria, I love her. I love her so much. She's going in S tier for me.
But there are moments
definitely.
that I really don't, but there are moments that I really do.
Well, I'll tell you right now, Maria and Kinzo are both in my top 3 characters, so I would definitely put her in S. Like, I don't even know what to say, honestly. Like, obviously she gets a lot of love for like pity points because of how terrible her life is and everything, but I still think she provides a lot of insightful commentary on, like, you know, like generational trauma and this whole story that goes on with the Ushiramiyas, because she's the closest of anybody to like breaking the cycle.
Yeah, and also that, like, you know, as children, we're not taught hate, you know? We have to learn it from someone or something.
I think my dislike mostly comes from me not liking the creepy child horror trope at all.
Yeah.
And just she like peeks into that so many times, but at the same time I do like when it's she's not being creepy because she's being directly menacing. I really like the moments when it's just like she suddenly becomes this font of knowledge and it's creepy because of that.
Yeah.
They always keep you guessing on whether or not she's like an active ally towards the witches.
Yeah.
And it's what's up?
I agree, but I enjoy Renove a little more. Can we slide Renove over one?
I won't mind. Renove is cool enough to where I'll be okay with
Renove's
that.
So cool. Yeah,
He is hella cool.
Thank you. Okay, that's all. That satiates me a little bit.
Yeah, I think Maria is one of the hardest characters to like properly describe why I like her, because like she's so like tragic, yet she still like pushes through all of it. Like
Yeah.
that shit sticks out all the time. That
Yeah.
conversation she had with Anjay, where she says that you have to create happiness and
Yeah.
not just like try to find it. You have to make it.
It adds that. It adds to the creepiness for me is that she's so emotionally complex for a child, yet stunted in other ways.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
her Path of Exile min-max chart would look fucking crazy. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, well, because she's extremely like empathetic and emotionally intelligent, but her what's the word? Like her emotional development itself is very stunted, which is
But
why
it's
she's so
also
into the witch stuff.
complex in other areas, like how good she is at compartmentalizing death and stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird that she's so good at that, yet for other smaller things she's so sensitive.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's
'Cause
because her
it's
belief in
not-
magic is so real, dude. Like,
yeah.
she's like, whatever, we're going to the Golden Land. It doesn't matter if we die.
Yeah.
Sorry.
What's going on?
Also, I think
None.
that's also a reason, like the symbology of Maria's character too, because she's all about faith, and she has the little. Not only has her crown, but there's a cross on it. She like, a lot of the family has that cross imagery, and it's always the ones who are like put like I think Battler has it. Kyrie has a cross, I believe. I'm trying to think of who else has
Kinzol.
cross imagery. But yeah, it's the people who have I think that marks all these characters who have undying faith in somebody
That's
or
interesting.
something. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anything else about Marmini?
Nah, I'm pretty bereft of ideas right now. I'm running out of gas.
All right. Jessica. I don't think she's a S tier, but I think she's a pretty cool character. Like she is about that action, but I don't know where to put her. I like her.
I think B.
Yeah, I kind of like B. I don't know. She just doesn't get the development that I would like. You know, like she's got some stuff, and what's there is like excuse me, you know, compelling. But I think that George and Battler kind of overshadow her.
Yeah, she needs more development other than Spunky Girl, who doesn't take shit from her male cousins. Like,
I just
Like,
think that like I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe like because I'm just thinking about her parents. Like she could either be two ways, right? She could be the sweet, docile, like perfect little heir, or she could be like the the fuck up. And I don't know. I'm kind of glad that they went with the fuck up route.
Is she really like that though? I don't feel like she is.
I mean, like she does her best, but she's
I'd
not
say more-
perfect.
more disappointment than fuck up.
Yeah.
I am also remembering her little like thing, like she's trying to have a life outside of all this bullshit, like with her
Yeah.
having
yeah,
the band
that's her
and
kind of her
everything.
main thing.
Yeah.
Because she's trying to like live out of the constraints of like her family, you know, so she can like figure out who she really wants to be. But I don't think it's that like she's like a fuck up or a disappointment. It's
Well, she's
more
a
so.
disappointment to them, but
I mean, sort of. I wouldn't say like in entirety. Like they're not it's like a mirror to Ava. You know what I mean? Like they're not disappointed in her, but they're disappointed in the fact that their first kid can't really be like a successor. So they don't really have like any goals they can push her towards. That's how it always came off to me. Like her parents don't really know how to deal with her.
Like they have high expectations, but in the end, it's always going to be empty.
Yeah, like I guess they're disappointed in her in that sense that like she comes from this crazy family, but she's kind of just normal. Like they don't like the fact that she's normal.
Fire.
You know?
Yeah.
Because if I remember,
and also immediately out of contention for headship. You know.
Yeah, right. So like she kind of doesn't fit in anywhere. Like she's just sort of doing her own thing, which is why like, you know, at least she gets to have a life. Because I feel like their grip on her is not as tight as like George and his parents, for example.
Oh yeah.
Because like they know like they don't need to really push her that hard, but like
we need
I don't
her
know.
rhythm game spin-off is what we need.
Yeah, she'd be great as a shonen protagonist.
Yeah, she's a weird character. I feel like she's one of the family members that, despite like being of importance, she kind of gets overshadowed by a lot of the other characters still. Like, I feel like they didn't give her too much to work with, sadly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can we talk about Goat? Can we talk about Goat
Okay,
George?
we can talk about Goat
Can we
George
talk about
now.
S-tier freaking George?
Dude, this guy's awesome.
I love George.
So-
He's an emotionally intelligent wife guy, and I love him.
The only part about George that I know from the fandom is that there is like mentions of him like not, I don't know if it's grooming, but he's had a crush on Shannon for a while. And like he talked to her and all that stuff. I forget what the exact quotes are, but it's in the game, but I don't think it's as atrocious as people make it out to be.
I was gonna say that sounds like that sounds like Twitter brain
Yeah.
idiocy.
Yeah.
Like, how is it grooming if she's only like 2 years younger than him?
I don't know how old I think she's
Battler's age, isn't she? Like 18?
I don't know. I think she is. I think she's around.
She's
the
definitely
same-
not a teenager. She
But-
is a legal adult. I know that for sure.
I don't remember
Yeah.
how old George is, but I know he's in his 20s.
He's like 2021. He's literally only a couple years older than Battler.
I don't know.
Which by extension means he's only a couple years older than Shannon. So like, if he was talking to her when they were younger, like they would have both been kids. How is that grooming, idiot?
George is
Th-
23.
there's-
I mean, that's still like I don't know. There is a gap there, but like they'd still
They,
both
like-
be children at the time, you know.
Yeah, I would need actual numbers. Like if he was
They-
17 and she was like 12, then like okay, fine. But that's not what happened. I guarantee you that's not what happened. Like let's be so for real. Like we have our own computers as well. Like I'm gonna look this up right now actually.
Like that's
Shannon
the only thing
Umineko
people
age.
like I know have against him. What?
Wait a wait.
What?
Yeah, Shannon is 16 years old.
That's not.
can't be
That
true.
can't be true. What do you mean?
That actually can't be true.
But
What?
but it says right here, dude. Like I'm definitely not making this up.
Are you joking? I thought it said she was the same age as
It
Jessica
did
and
at the
Battler.
beginning. In like part 1, it said that they were all in the same like age range.
I mean, I
Wait,
guess
wait,
she's
what?
only 2
I don't
years
understand.
below them, so I guess they are.
Well, dude, here's the thing. Now I'm getting conflicting sources of information, but that supposedly she's 19, but similar to canon, they say that she is younger than that for like plot related reasons that I think lead to spoilers.
What?
So we can't like go into that.
That's not.
But that means that she is 19, not 16. Yeah, don't look at character profiles, you might get spoiled, see? So like I can't fucking directly confirm that, but that's as far as I can educate us without
Okay.
spoilers.
As far
Is-
as I know now in current plot, Umineko fans, I love George. He has been a little bit kinky with some stuff at times, but I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna like moral woke scold this right now. Like basically,
a lot.
long story short is that if you really want to get into like, oh, he's a groomer, I'm still gonna say no. I'm still gonna put my foot down and say definitely not, because if he's 23, and if what I'm reading is correct, and her being 16 is like a lie that's written into the narrative, and she's actually older than she says, just like canon, which I can totally believe since they've literally done that already. Then that means that she's 19, and I'm gonna call it fine. I don't really care, to be honest. Like, fucking, I guarantee you they were like talking when they were both teenagers. Like, you know, maybe you could argue it's on like, super senior where my hug at territory.
Stop.
Which
But,
is not
I mean,
appropriate.
Like, they both had feelings for each other, but they were quiet about it. Like, they didn't.
Yeah.
Like, all this stuff with them is kind of recent.
Also, circumstantially and stuff, it's like.
He also doesn't even act predatory.
I'm trying to not say negative things.
No, I understand. In the modern age of social media, Shane, this conversation is like a minefield. But
yeah.
I think we can all agree that regardless of their ages, whether Shannon is like 16 or whether she's 19, George very clearly has real love for her, and he does not act predatory towards her. I think that's when we're talking about fictional characters, not real people. it only matters how they're behaving realistically.
True.
Like, he's very clearly not taking advantage of her.
Yeah, and let us not forget that there's a whole like eras of genres of music and things that are like, I'm on love on this teenager.
What?
I'm gonna marry that girl. She's 14 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
But aside from that, George is very well written.
Yeah, he's very well written. It's hard for me to ever see him as ever grooming or doing anything like that, because he's not like that to anyone else. He's considerate to the people he should be hating. He tries to understand everyone's circumstances, even the people who are shitting on and trashing his own parents, whom he loves. Like, he tries to be understanding with everybody, so that it's hard to make me dislike George.
Yeah.
I will refrain from stating my opinion on George. I cannot articulate my argument.
Like, I feel like once we get the whole scope of everything, we'll be able to understand, like, you know, his character better, and then maybe we'll have a different opinion. But for right now, like, episodes 1 through 4, like, he's the GOAT.
Yeah, like I said, I guarantee you that the more, like, not even controversial, like the more negative aspects of his character are probably waiting to be revealed. I'm sure we haven't seen them yet.
Yeah.
Let me terrify Jamie real quick. Hey. As a Griffith enjoyer, I say bring it the fuck on.
Griffith!
Dude, W. Dude,
Let's go.
Griffith is cool.
Griffith.
He's cool.
Griffith is hot.
He's a cool ass character.
I also think he's hot.
Yay!
Real shit. Yeah, I mean, what's awesome about George is just how, like, again, he's one of the only people in this story with his fucking head on straight. Like,
yeah,
he's a good guy. He loves the girl that he wants to marry. He really tries his best to take care of the family. Also a very fitting candidate for successor.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just an all around, like, good, smart, well-intentioned guy who likes to take care of the people around him and is good in, like, a leadership role, you know?
I mean, he grew up, like, really insecure about himself, I'm remembering, and he kind of just, like rewrote his entire personality so that Shannon, you know, he could be the kind of guy that Shannon needed.
The yearning, bro.
The yearning, yeah. Like, he was like, I know in order to be with Shannon and to be a better person, I need to do this, and this, and this. And then he did it.
Yeah, similar to her, he was changed by love.
Yeah, and he still struggles with it, but he tries.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also, arguably, he's kind of pulling her out of slave labor as well. So let's also consider that fact. Like,
he's actively trying to, like,
inappropriate
get her out of the bad spot that she's in.
Yeah.
age, like, considering age gap, even if it were the bad age gap, like, pulling her out of slavery.
Real shit.
Let's not forget that.
Yeah, man. Dude, we've seen a lot worse
We've seen
in
a
history.
lot worse.
Hey, you're telling me I got a choice between silver fox / cougar or slavery?
Real.
Yeah, I mean, do you ever see that guy on TikTok who like married some 90-year-old lady to get his widow bag?
Yeah.
Hey, yo,
Hey, yo.
go for it, dude. Good for
Right?
you.
Get your money.
Are we good with George?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I know we are all very divisive, but Anjay's next.
She gets a
Kinda
B
don't
at
care
best.
For Anjay, I'd agree. I'd say argue even C.
No.
I'm not an Anjay fan.
B at best. That's me being generous. I would give her C personally.
I would agree with you.
But babe, I'll let you have B, because I know you like her for reasons that Shane and I can't seem to understand, even though we've now seen the same story.
It's just I feel like you guys are just like caught up on her like being a bitch when she was younger. Like like she obviously like grew from it and she learned her lesson. And I don't know.
Well,
She
here's the
went
thing.
from being a bitch to being boringly stoic. It wasn't much of an upgrade.
Yeah, here's the thing, right, babe? Like, Shane and I have talked a lot about what our problems with Anjay is. So I'm just gonna ask you some questions so you can explain why you like her and see how you do. Okay? What is her personality? What are some actual character traits that she has?
I mean, she is fiercely independent. Because she was kind of molded into that by having no family and also being raised by Ava. She is super, like, she's not, in my head, she's not really stoic. Like, I feel like she's prideful.
Of what?
Like, or I guess not she's stubborn. Because if she feels like something's one way, like, it's hard for her to think of another way, which is like her whole deal with magic. Like, I feel like she is kind of like the reader's insert for like the realist.
Is that
Like,
true
Yeah,
though?
but
Because
she flip flops hard on magic.
yeah, I was gonna say she changed her opinion multiple times.
I mean, like,
She started off believing, then she said no, fuck this, and then she went back.
I mean, in my mind, I feel like that's Ryukushi's way of, like, I don't know, like adding a realist character. Because, like, you know, when we're all kids, we think magic is real. We all have that imagination, and then we get stifled by something, and then it's our choice to believe in it or not as we get older, right? And Anjay chose to. But like that's why I like her character so much, cause like in the end it is her choice to believe in magic, even though the whole world was up against her. But they're learning like Maria's way of looking at the world. She decided to make her own happiness like her, you know?
I mean, yeah, I understand that. Like, she gets, you know, like she gets a bad deal, right? And you know, all the stuff that she does with Maria is like about her getting back in touch with like that idea of like childlike whimsy and like being able to enjoy life, which is very much adjacent to like magic in terms of theming. But you know, like again, you know, yeah, I'm sure you could maybe keep going, but I don't think those are enough traits to hold up a whole character. I think that she is pretty boring. Most of what she says is not interesting. She doesn't get enough screen time, despite the fact that by episode 4 they're expecting you to treat her like a secondary main character alongside Battler, which just doesn't work for me. I think you would have had to at least introduce her like halfway through for that to work. And like, I'm sorry, but like, what other character am I gonna blame for all of the boring, uninteresting stuff that happens in her part of the story, other than her? Like, if she was not in the story, there would be a lot of the content that I don't like being taken out. Like, straight up, like the vast majority of the time that's on screen, even if it's not always because of her that things are boring, sometimes it is. Most of what happens when she's on the screen is boring. And
Like,
the reason that it's there is because of her storyline.
I'm sure if we get more like brother-sister interactions, I'll start liking her more. My main issue with her is I relate a lot to her circumstances and some things that happened to her, but I cannot understand or relate to her choices because of that. They don't make sense to me.
I also just think it's like I said, I think like she's almost like a bad Maria to me. Like, they want you to empathize and they want you to care about her because they give you like a bunch of shitty misery porn about how bad her life was, because, you know, it's episode 4. We don't have time to show it all like we've been showing with Maria. So we just have to tell you. That's my big problem with Anjay. She's a lot of tell, don't show. And that, in any story, that's never going to do it for me. Like, you can sit here and talk for a million words about how terrible your life is and how, you know, how strong you are for getting through it. If I didn't see it, I don't really care.
I will say I'm hopeful for her to move up, but it just hasn't happened for me.
I don't
like,
think that aside from backflashes, I don't think that she's in the story because she's dead now.
That's what I'm saying, and that creates kind of a problem. Like, her herself as a character is like inoffensive. Like, take it or leave it. I don't really care. But everything that she brings to the story, like her role in the story, in my opinion, does actively make it worse as of episode 4. Like, nothing that happened with her was interesting or engaging to me. It felt like I was really, really invested with everything that's going on with Battler and Beato and like learning more about the witches and that world. And then they just pull you away to go see what Anjay's doing just so they can drag her into the plot where, like, I don't know, her inclusion because of that just doesn't feel very natural. And she doesn't, it feels like you could remove her from the story and things would change, you know, but I think they would change in a way that makes it better paced and more engaging.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I wish we had more time with her and more time with her interactions with Battler.
Well, I wish a lot of her they took a different approach to a lot of her background story. It's reminding me of the epic thing of the you're the worst kind of good because you're not even great.
Dude,
that's kind of how I feel.
Without having read them yet, I almost say that I wish they saved her for the answer arcs, to be honest. Like, I feel like they were trying to, like, because I know she's going to be really important.
Feel a little shoehorned, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure she's going to be very important in the answer arcs. And that's why they brought her in at the end of the question arcs, to, like, get you ready for her to be a major player.
Yeah.
But they didn't give her enough time, in my opinion. Like, if she came into the story, like, at the end of episode 2, then, like, I feel like there would have been enough time for me to get properly attached. But there just wasn't. So I just don't really care about her that much. I'm sure I'll come to like her, but right now I don't really care about her. She, if anything, the most that she brings to the story is being a narrative tool for Battler's development. Like, the effect that she has on him is low-key more important than anything she actually does for the story.
Well, yeah, because that unfortunately was her whole, like, thing. Like, that was what she was made for as a pawn.
I can't call that a good character. Like, for her only purpose in the story to be to further another character, she should be able to stand on her own.
Yeah. For real.
But that's kind of all I got. She's all right. I'm sure I'll end up liking her more as time goes on.
Speaking of holding up Battler's massive balls, there's the woman who holds them up while also simultaneously stabbing them.
I was gonna ask if you wanted to do Battler or Beatrice first. Want to do Beatrice first?
We can do Beatrice.
Okay. Well, we all know how I feel about Beatrice because I'm biased, but also I love her.
I love her as an antagonist.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, but
I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't think she can get S. I think she deserves a high A. Because simply because we all three of us know for a fact that her character arc has basically only started.
Yeah, it's just begun.
Yeah. I guess I'd have to agree with you that for the A, but I'm just very excited about it, and with the,
No, me too.
I am very happy about the direction it seems to be going. So I want to push for A.
I mean, I want her in S, but we're weighing it between all three of us.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
if it's 2-1, you can go ahead and put it up there. You know, like I'm not gonna get mad. I just personally think that she doesn't have as much depth.
I'm gonna say a tentative S, just 'cause of the amount of enjoyment I've gotten from her.
Like she
I got you.
is very
And-
entertaining.
I'm biased because I also really enjoy your performance of her. I think it's one of my favorite performances I think I've heard you give.
Thank
It is. It's very good.
Thank you. I mean, it's really fun to play her. She gets absolutely nuts. But the thing that I love so much about Beatrice is that, like, ever since episode 3, like you can, like, the reader can just tell that there's another part of her that we just don't know yet. And the game, like, subtly hints at it in such a wonderful way. Like, either it's, like, through her little, like, sprite animations or, like, through her, like, what she says. Like, there's always something to, like, jab at your heart at, like, some point. Like, an example is, like, at the very end when Battler calls her my Beatrice and, like, her sprite, like, goes into, like, the pensive one for, like, a second and then she immediately switches it up. Like,
Yeah, I do love when they do that with her sprite work. Like, she's so... I definitely think she's the most interestingly expressive of all the characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, what she is really entertaining and fun. And she is the primary source of, like, all of the intrigue and all of the mystery that the story, like, prides itself on. But her as a character herself leaves a bit to be desired, in my opinion. At least right now, because she's not supposed to be a complete character right now. Like, that's part of the point, but that doesn't change how it makes me feel at the end of the day. Because like, yeah, there's a sadness, like there's a past that she has that we don't know about, and obviously, like, you know, she's got, like, complicated feelings under the surface and everything. But at the end of the day, she's fucking evil. Like, so, like, she's the primary antagonist, so I'm not gonna give her as much empathy or as much benefit of the doubt as I do, like, somebody like Ava or Maria. Like,
It's less that I have empathy, more that I just have extreme interest, because she's evil, but she's...
it's like
her motives are so, like, unclear, but, like, understandable in a human way.
like episode 4 kind of hinted at separating those two parts from her. Like, her evil, like, witch self versus her sad, like, introspective self. Like, the evil witch told her to...
Beatrices at once.
Yeah, like, the evil one, she was like, okay, like, you're hurt, go cry in your pillow, I'll take over. Like, there is two halves of her that are going on here, and you have to kind of wonder, be like, is that really her, or is that not really her, or are they both
I mean,
really
yeah,
her?
that's the question that they're begging, is, like, the witch Beatrice, like, how separate from Beato the person is she? Which is definitely very cool and very intriguing. I guess it's just the fact that, like, where we're at in the story right now, like, doesn't do it for me. For it to be S is all. Because, like, it's another case where I know she'll be in my S by the time, like, the question or the answer arcs are done. Like, because then her arc will be finished. But for now, all I do is I see her be evil and torture the main character and his loved ones over and over and over, and laugh about it and be completely evil and terrible. More so than Rosa, by the way, but they expect me to be sympathetic towards her. Which, you know, right now, as the story stands, I'm not gonna buy that, personally. Like, I don't know, like, Rosa does things that are less bad, and she gets no sympathy from the writer, whereas, like, Beato literally kills people over and over and over for fun to torture people and make them go insane, and then they want to turn around and be like, feel bad for her, though. And I won't until we get the reason. So the mystery is going to solve itself, and then my opinion will change, I'm sure.
I don't like her because I think she's sympathetic. I like her because Alexa, play Nine Inch Nails Umineko AMV. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, and I should clarify, all that stuff I said, like, doesn't make me think she's, like, a more poorly written character. It just keeps her from being one of my favorites, which is why I wouldn't put her S. You know, like, I'd put her at the top of A, but that's pretty much the entirety of how I feel.
For real. Beato, my goat.
Beato's a stupid bitch, and I hope she loses.
I support women's rights and women's wrongs.
I hope she loses to the real goat.
All right.
Battler.
All right.
The Toucher himself, bro.
The Toucher. The cousin Toucher Supreme.
The goated Toucher, dude.
Good God. What the fucking say about Battler, dude? He is like quintessential protagonist. He is written so well.
I'll be honest, I would not use the word quintessential.
He is to me.
Precisely because of the fact that he's so different from like a primary protagonist in this kind of story.
He's kind of what I'm looking for in a protagonist, though. Like, he is written like if a regular person was thrown into this type of shit, we'd all react similarly to him. Like,
I heavily disagree with that, actually.
Really?
Yeah, 100%. Dude, if they see all of the magic shit happening in front of them, the average person would start to believe. He's the free thinker.
But he did start to believe, though.
Yeah, until what? He realized, no, I'm a free thinker. I'm not going to believe just because you show it to me.
I mean, for real. But I guess, like, what he starts out as, like, his progression is realistic. And how he gathers confidence for himself. Yeah, Shane?
Oh, I was just gonna say, but also because it's the thing of, yeah, she shocks him with all that magic stuff, but it was also the thing of he realizes, like, wait a minute, I've been seeing the magic, quote-unquote, bullshit from the beginning. I didn't believe it then. Why do I suddenly believe it now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The only times he's about to change his opinion on magic are when he gets manipulated into feeling, like, deep despair, where he gives up. Like, I would argue that if anything, like, what makes Battler so different from a normal protagonist is the fact that he is so, like, he maintains his truth above everything. Like, because that's why I directly disagreed with you saying he's the average person in this situation. He's totally not. Like, everybody else is the average person. He's the guy who says, no, you can't convince me, even though he should be convinced.
He's so well written as the age range and type of person he is, and not in the, like, tropey, boring way, because he is so apathetic to the family situation up until they are in danger and the people he loves are getting hurt.
Yeah, right?
Like, he's so apathetic for the succession bullshit up until, like, if the puzzle and this stupid shit is the only way to make my family safe, then I will give all the care in the world. But as soon as that's not the case, he's just like, no, I can't. I have to look at the important things. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but no, I was gonna say, yeah, it's him being the free thinker, but he does it in a way that's not like, it's not tropey. He feels like a person of his age range and his circumstance. Like, I believe in Battler. I believe in Battler, and that's the most important thing about him.
What makes it not annoying is the fact that he doesn't act like a know-it-all. If anything, he doesn't fucking know anything.
Yeah, he doesn't know anything.
But it's this idea of, you know, he starts out like playing the game with Beatrice, kind of like for his pride to like prove that he's right, and that no, like, magic can't be real. There's no fucking way. I'll prove it to you. But then once there's like more personal stakes involved, and he's like, oh my god, like I can save my family. I can save my little sister. Like, then he kind of stops caring about, like, I think at the point in the story we're currently at, he doesn't necessarily care if magic is real or not. I don't think that's what he cares about now. He cares about winning the argument.
Yeah.
You know? Like, he's accepted, like, regardless of what I think, this is my position. This is my truth. I have to stick to it no matter what.
And it's because he wants to win the argument, not because of his his own pride, of course, factors in, but
yeah,
other things that are more important. So he switched over to the quick and dirty strategy of I am just going to dog you until you fucking give up.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Because I think the nature of the game is so interesting because like it's entirely like based upon, you know, like the witches give him like rules to follow, and then he like has to figure out how to break them essentially. You know, like what goofy thing can I come up with that like triumphs the red truth? You know, like what what crazy out of the box thinking can I create like that is technically possible no matter how unlikely that can explain this without magic? Because that's why he's the one being backed by Lambda Delta, right? Because she's like, even if there's like a 0.0001% chance, I can still will it to happen as long as it's not 0. Which is why he constantly tells himself never stop thinking, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you might have the like a bajillion centimeters thick bunker wall, but I have the unbreakable drill bit. Or no,
Yeah.
I have the sledgehammer made of unobtainium. It might take eternity, but progress will be made. Yeah.
It'll happen.
Yeah, right. Like that's why I'm still holding myself to I don't think magic is real, even though like the evidence is more supporting to the contrary, because it feels like it would be weird to me for like Battler to, for the whole story up until this point, he's been portrayed as like basically being confidently wrong. You know, it would feel so weird if 4 more episodes go by and they're still like, no, you were just wrong the whole time. Main character, you never succeeded a single time. I'm not saying it can't happen, but I think it would be weird for them to like set him up as like being such a moron, and like he's been wrong basically the whole time. Like at the end of episode 4, Lambda and Byrne literally said like, you know, like he didn't even get close to figuring out anything. There's no way that like there won't be some kind of rug pull, you know?
Yeah.
Where like magic comes back into being questioned, because they're definitely treating it like it's an undeniable truth right now.
My main theory for magic being not real is that every magical character is representative of some aspect of either the family themselves or the way the world treats the whimsical thoughts of children. Every magical character can be explained as a facet of humans.
Yeah, my theory is that like all of the magical beings are like an extension of Kinzo, essentially. Yes. like an object or something that he owns, like something related to him.
An ideal he holds.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, there's something.
And then on top of that, like all of the magical beings are like extensions of Kinzo, and then the servants are his accomplices. That's kind of where I'm going right now.
Yeah, and the idea of dying and being born again and coming back, and Virgilia, the relation that, and then the relationship between Virgilia and Beatrice. Because is it established that they are 2 different people?
Yeah, they're 2 different people. She's Virgilia's Beatrice's teacher. Like,
yeah, because she was Beatrice before her.
Yeah.
Okay, so we confirm that Beatrice is a real person who was in the secret mansion. But that's the one thing that throws my theory, I think, for the loop is Byrne Castle, like, is she that Beatrice or is she someone else?
Byrne Castle?
Yeah, who is Byrne Castle?
I don't think she's...
Sorry, not Byrne Castle, Virgilia.
Oh, Virgilia, okay.
Sorry, no, I just had Virgilia. Who is Virgilia?
I mean, that's interesting, yeah.
Like, in the scope of, we know where and when and how Beatrice existed on the game board per se, but we also see glimpses of Virgilia on the game board when she's first introduced. So, or not necessarily on the game board, but in the real world.
True.
So, what the fuck is Virgilia? That's like my main, because I can't really put a finger on what she would be representative of otherwise, other than like the old guard of magic. But then there's that's such like a vague thing, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, that's the
Okay.
she's the one character I can't really figure out what she's representative of.
For real. All right. That's
Well, that's the
That's
tier
our
list. We
that's our
kind
tier
of went for
list.
a while. I'm not gonna lie, guys. Do you want to do like a whole dedicated stream for theories next week? Because I do have to take a nap before I go to work.
I don't know if I have enough content for a whole stream.
Well, that's
Yeah.
why you take time to make a theory.
Uh,
Well, because I'll look, I'm putting my foot down. I don't have time to do it right now. Straight up, I don't.
I just put mine forward. That was mine. That's about all
well,
I got.
Well, it sounds like Artsy doesn't even care about the mystery. So I guess that's it then. I guess that's it.
well,
Not
I
a real
mean,
mystery solver.
we could have a little powwow before we start the next one. And then
Yeah, I don't know.
yeah.
You can do whatever. I'm just saying I can't do it now. Like I would really prefer to end.
You
Oh, well,
got-
that's
you got it.
unfortunate. Because I had a little special compilation made for the stream, but that's okay.
Well, hold on. Wait,
well, I
what?
mean, it was
wanna
just
see this.
it's just a clip compilation of like cuz Adam made like basically all of the Umineko clips and he just added his faves
Aw.
and
Oh,
gave it to
can
me.
we watch you, please? Please, can you keep your eyes open for just a couple?
I mean,
please?
it just depends.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. My job is very important to keeping my life stable right now. If I don't sleep, everything's gonna be bad.
Oh. Okay.
That doesn't mean we can't watch it at a like what, in a week's time on the next stream.
Oh, you don't want to take a break?
Dude,
Or-
I want to take a nap is what I want to take.
I meant like either way. I meant like with Umineko.
I mean, yeah, we didn't talk about it like as a trio. I just brought up the idea and you were like, I don't know, maybe. Because I mean, what do you think, Shane? We can take a break from reading this, or we can go right into the question or the answer arcs next week. What do you want to do?
I am down for whatever you guys want to do. I don't really have an opinion. I want to finish it eventually. I'm invested. But
But I guess in
think-
that case, we'll just be back next week.
All right.
Nobody
Well-
makes decisions around
I
here,
didn't
man.
know there was a compilation. I want to see a compilation.
I mean, it's not edited or anything. It's just me putting them together, episodes 1 through 4, our favorite
okay.
clips. But I thought it would be a good send off to the question arts. But it's okay. We can watch it before we get into the answer arcs next time. Yeah.
I mean, okay.
You could just like play it as our ending this time, and it can go up.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, sure, if that's what you guys want to do, I guess.
Okay. Well, while Eddie's here, thank you guys for watching us play Umineko and the question arcs. It's been like over a year, but it's been really fun. I'm really glad I got you guys to do this with me. I'm glad I convinced both of you, and I'm glad I convinced Shane to do it because he was really hesitant on doing it at the start.
I'm not a visual novel enjoyer.
No.
I just don't like streaming very much.
Yeah, so it was a labor of hard work, but we did it. I'm proud of us. I'm proud of us. So thank you guys for joining me.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
we're not even done yet, so you can thank us when it's over.
Yeah.
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 Thank me when I shit myself.
The
Why?
fuck, dude.
It will happen.
Yeah, you already
Next time.
fell asleep live, so like we just gotta check
Yeah.
off the list.
I work security.
You
I'm
do work
tired.
security. It's okay, Shane. It's okay, Shane. All right. Well, let's get Eddie to bed. Shane, I guess I'll stream this to you real fast. And do you want to still be live while Lanny's away, or?
I'll just mute myself and we can play that as the ending.
Yay!
If that works with you, unless you wanted to. Well, do what you want. Do what you want. It's your stream. Blah, blah,
Shit.
don't ask me. Come,
Okay.
I'm gonna jump off the cliff.
No, don't do that. I still need you.
Wow.
Metaphorically.
Metaphorically.
All right, then.
you know what? I'll save it for next time.
Okay.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye everybody.
Bye,
Thanks for
everyone.
watching. See you next week. Goodbye.